it can do toast, you know. So
That's
but it won't do toast as well as like a slot loader. So it's definitely a trade-off if you want it to be your only toaster, which like given how infrequently I actually do toast, it'd be worth it for me if I were living on my own, for instance.
That's fair. Well, I just realized the icons are making a pattern down there.
Making a pattern.
Look at the tier list. Look at all the alchemist, archivist, armorer. They're blended together.
I guess so. I will say it was very satisfying when I was opening the pages because all of the base artificers, 3 of them start with A and 1 of them starts with B, so they're all alphabetically aligned.
That is perfect.
It feels like there's more on here than there are on
There's
the
two
Wikidot.
There's 2 unearthed arcanas. One is armor, which got turned into an official one in Tasha's.
Yep.
And the other is archivist, and I don't know if archivist was turned into one.
So we have 8 here. So it seems like one of the unearthed arcanas is a remake, according to past me.
Oh, definitely armorer turned into armorer.
7, 8. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only one actually.
That makes sense. Armor is probably very similar to armorer.
I have a hunch, yes. I've played armorer, but I don't think I've played armorer.
Oh wow! Okay. Armorer might be very different than armorer. No. When I checked for like similarities, I generally opened each one just to, like, you know, actually check with my own opinion. So if it's not here, it's probably very similar.
I need to know if Steven wants a sandwich.
Oh, I bet not, but do you want me to ask?
Yes. If you can track him down. I don't know where he is. He might even be in like the garden.
Okay. Well, this should be about a session to do.
Oh shit! I should look at the look at Artificer, huh?
Yeah, I should open it too. Artificer. I'll open my list. There we go.
I'm back. He is outside, I believe, on the phone with Bella, so I didn't want to interrupt. I can check again in a bit, or.
So one thing I always forget about Artificer is that they are like paladins and rangers. They are half casters.
They're half casters, yeah.
So they basically need a lot to make up for that.
So they're half casters, but they do get cure wounds, interestingly.
Okay, but I mean, so do paladins.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
And rangers have healing too.
Oh wait, that's true. All half casters have healing.
Yeah, actually. There actually is one interesting difference about Artificer from the other 2. Unless the ranger works this way. No. Well, 1, yes, they actually get cantrips. But 2, they get spells at first level. Half casters don't normally. They don't have spells. Yes.
So the very early game is okay.
So as a result, yeah, well, that's needed because they don't really have any first level features. I consider magical tinkering to be pretty much a ribbon.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So level 1, they're just a full caster.
Yeah. I guess.
Kinda.
Yes. I think they, yeah. And then
the Artificer table shows you, yeah, at first level you get 2 first level spell slots and 2 cantrips.
Yeah.
All like full casters start with 2, or do they get 4?
3.
I don't remember.
I feel like they start with 3 and go up to 4.
That might be right. Artificer does not go up till 4 till level 5.
Artificer had a really clunky. Okay, they fixed it. the Unearthed Arcana one that I played had a really, really like clunky situation at 14th level where they didn't get a class feature and they also didn't get any new spells, and they didn't really. So they got one more spell slot of a level they already had and nothing else.
Nothing. Oh God.
Was the saddest thing. I was annoyed with them at that. It looks like they fixed that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, infused. It looks like you get an additional infused item.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
At every certain level. And anything else special?
What is? Hold on.
Oh, I guess you also at 14 you get the ignore class, race, spell, and level requirements for attuning to or using magic
Okay,
item.
you
That's
get the pick
collected
four
for
Artificer infusions.
And you get an additional and in addition to that, you get an additional attunement.
Yeah. Nice. That's true.
Man, we're definitely gonna have to just like at least skim these infusions, huh?
Yes, we are. Especially because I think some of them subclass specific.
Maybe.
Those might be in the subclasses. I don't actually know.
No.
Oh, okay. We're chilling.
Well, I think just real quick, I think ignoring subclasses and Artificer, their playstyle is basically just I get more magic items, I have some armor, and I'm okay at casting spells.
Yes.
And then they're pretty good at skills too. They have some expertises. Oh, with tools, okay.
So my question is, okay, so I'm looking at Artificer, right? And you get proficiency with light and medium armor, which is nice. Shields, probably do want to wear a shield. And simple weapons.
Switch the stream overlay.
Okay,
off of loading.
I guess we'll just start talking about it.
We've already started talking about it. It's too late now.
Yeah, you gotta show something, of course.
Okay, so Artificers start with magical tinkering and spell casting. So magical tinkering is objects. You can basically modify tools, which are your spell casting focus, I think, as far as I can read.
Ooh, I like that they get proficiency in con saves.
Make them shine brine light in a 5-foot radius, which is useful, I guess.
You can make any object do this. You touch a tiny non-magical object, and it does.
Oh, you
one
must
of
have
these.
thieves' tools or artisans' tools in hand.
Yes.
To do it, yeah. So whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow this property on the object, and the recording can be no more than 6 seconds long. It's actually kind of fun. I'm sure there's something you could do with that.
But it's mostly ribbony.
Oh yeah, no, there's 0 power level in terms of like combat. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or a nonverbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or the like. The chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. A static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. The chosen properties last indefinitely. As an action, you can touch the object and property early. You bestow magic on multiple objects, touching one object each time you use this feature, though a single object can only bear one property at a time. The maximum number of objects you can affect with this feature at one time is equal to your intelligence modifier. Yeah. Honestly, as far as ribbons go, I think this is one of the more broadly useful ones, TBH.
Mm-hmm.
This is like prestidigitation plus.
I agree.
So, are we going to just go through the base class?
No, I don't think we really have to. We can skim it.
Yeah, I was saying I don't think we have to go through
I already skimmed it earlier.
Too in depth.
Yeah.
But
they're good at the tools. They're good at they have cantrips unlike other half casters, and they attune to a whole bunch of magic items.
It will be useful to know what the intended kind of like tools you have, right, are, because like so this is the thing, right, is that when you think about hello Trist. When you think about like what each class is sort of meant to do, right? Like a spellcaster is largely meant to cast spells and not necessarily cast cantrips unless you're a warlock, right? Whereas a paladin is largely going to be meleeing, and a ranger is largely going to also be like using weapons. So where does that leave an artificer?
I can tell you from experience because I've seen artificers played in my campaigns, and without their subclass, they are actually, unlike wizards, like pretty much the opposite of wizards, they're very weak without their
Yeah.
subclass. They
kinda
don't
what I
get
remember.
much at all. Like their spell list is weak. They don't progress as they progress at half caster. They're not good at melee. They don't even get heavy armor. But they do get shields and medium armor, so it's like it's pretty good. They just don't do much. Like low damage, low impact on the environment, and then maybe late game they can attune to a couple more items.
Mhm.
That's kind of it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they really rely heheavily on their subclass.
Agreed.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at.
Just can you just scroll down the base class just to sum up to Dan's point?
How
Like
behind are half-casters in 5e? I mean, it just means they're not very competitive in terms of like actually casting spells.
They get up to 5th level spells, whereas full casters get up to 9th level spells.
and they get a new spell slot level once every 4 levels instead of once every 2 levels, so pretty behind on the power curve for pure spell casting, so as a result they have to have something else. Paladins have Divine Smite.
And
like-
rangers don't have anything.
Yeah, exactly. Paladins have Divine Smite, which keps them strong and lets them
Heavy
burst like
armor,
crazy.
extra attack, yeah.
Extra attack, heavy armor, yeah. And then rangers get jack shit, so they're weak.
Yeah. So you have full casters, you have half casters, which get up to 5th level spell slots, and then you have 1/3 casters, which are any usually they're martial classes that get spell casting features.
They get their 4th level spells at level 19, I believe.
It's such a funny, yeah.
So anyway, let's see. You can add your int mod to ability check saving throws. That's pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. It takes a reaction, but yeah. And then there's a bunch of magic items.
So you can attune to 4 magic items. If you craft a magic item with a rarity of common or uncommon, it takes you a quarter of the normal time, costs you half as much as the usual gold. Okay, this is a worthless ability, isn't it?
Yep. That one doesn't do anything because crafting in D&D
Like,
sucks.
I like the idea that they're like, here, you can have crafting, but like they don't give you any shit for crafting, really.
Yeah. Even at a quarter cost and a quarter time, you still can't really craft them effectively.
And this is like only uncommon. I mean, how long does it take to make an uncommon weapon if you had 1/4 the time?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. You're not gonna do it. Spell storing. Oh, this one.
Let's see. You can touch one simple martial weapon, or one item. You could store a spell in it. First or second level spell. Requires 1 action to cast. If you don't have to have it prepared while holding the object, a creature to contain action to produce a spell's effect from it using your spellcasting ability modifier. Requires concentration. Creature must concentrate. Spell stays on the object until it's been used a number of times equal to twice your intelligence modifier. Oh, so like, you can keep using it, I guess.
What do you use it for?
Yes, you can keep using it to cast a 1st or 2nd level spell at 11th level.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually pretty good considering that wizards at 18th level get that nutty feature, right?
Yeah, the signature
Spell
spell.
mastery.
Like
No,
this
I think
is,
it's-
I mean, this is functionally like, imagine if you can just like give everybody in your party cure wounds that they can just use 10 times.
I did have an interesting question, which is
Healing word.
I almost don't want to bring this up, especially because we're not even in subclasses, but it could be relevant. Okay, help me interpret this. While holding the object, the creature can take an action to produce the spell's effect from it.
Okay.
What?
So if it's a
how
1
does
hour
that-
cast time,
Yeah, how does that relate to the cast time of the spell? Did they errata this? Did they fix it?
Choosing a first or second level spell from the Artificer spell list that requires one action to
requires
Oh,
cast.
thank God. Thank fuck. Okay, good.
so that means no healing word.
No, but you
you're
also
right.
don't get healing word as an Artificer.
Really?
Yeah, you only get
That's
cure wounds.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
But I mean, like, hey,
Well,
I wouldn't say that's like the worst. Not that we're really ranking like the power level of an Artificer.
But yeah,
I mean,
keep in mind for the subclasses that they can cast more 1st and 2nd level spells, and they can even have their party members cast
I mean,
them.
you can choose one spell to cast like literally
A fuck
10 times.
Yeah.
Hey,
do we go?
Hey, look, you can cast Aid.
Oh my God.
Lol. If I'm not mistaken, I think some of the other artificers had extra spells on their spell
Yeah,
list?
so just keep
Because I
that in
remember
mind.
my artificers having shatter, and it's not on their base spell list, so it must be on their
Okay,
special spell
I'm
list.
actually not gonna lie because so let's
Tons of
see.
shatters is awesome.
So because anybody can use that spell, right? This ability is actually pretty useful because you also get access to blur.
Oh, it's a self-only
Oh,
spell.
Well, you hand it around.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
or just give it to your meleeer.
Or you literally just you give somebody the ability to
True.
cast aid as an action 10 times for free. That's like actually a disgusting amount of hit points.
Wait, do they it stacks with
Wait.
itself? That doesn't
How many
sound
people?
right.
You could use that mid-combat.
So aid bolsters up to 3 creatures within 30 feet of you. So the thing
That's
is
15
that
heal.
they don't it doesn't stack with itself. So like every instance of aid,
Yeah.
for instance, wouldn't increase your hit points by a further 5, but it would heal you by 5 hit points
Yep.
because aid is technically a heal spell.
In fact, this is a lot better than Healing Word. Healing Word is like heal one person 7. This is heal 3 people 5.
True.
It's actually
And-
really good.
That's actually not bad at all.
In 30
It's also
feet, yeah.
basically free because it
30
lasts
feet's a
for
lot
8
better than
fucking
touch.
hours.
Healing Word's like 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is 30 feet's usually enough, and that's 3 different people. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like literally, you just like hand this to your meleeer. They'll like pop it and they'll run 30 feet, and like they
Yeah.
probably wouldn't reach the the enemy in the first turn anyway.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, it's probably good on
Right.
you as well because I don't think you're not probably
You're
doing
probably
that
not doing
many
much on the
useful
first
things.
turn. Yeah, that's true.
Well, hold on. Wait, why are you casting aid on the first turn and not just at the start of the
Yeah,
day?
you would just start. You
Yeah.
cast it at the start of the day, and then you would
Yeah.
cast it as needed.
Yeah,
if anybody
exactly.
ever went down.
Exactly.
You literally just keep it on the Artificer, and they'll just cast it it'll just be their free healing.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
that's
That's
really
cool.
good. That's really good.
Importantly, that aid being that good means
We have
other
to stack
classes
other
getting-
spells against it. Yeah.
Other classes
Other
getting
class
good second level
peoples, yeah.
spells is not as impactful, perhaps.
Yeah. Good.
I mean,
Still
I think it will definitely depend because like you can still want to do like you can still want to
Shatter.
cast certain spells. Yeah.
If I could store Shatter, I would just be blasting all the time.
Pew pew pew.
And then the rest
Okay.
of the features are
So,
all
They're all
just
infusions.
with
You
one
just get
exception.
more magic items.
You get more magic items up to 6, and then the last thing is you
Oh,
get
1+1 bonus to saving
Yeah.
throws per magic item you're attuned to.
So +6 to all saving throws.
and if you get reduced to 0 hit points, you can end one of your infusions, which you probably really don't want to do, but it does keep you above 0.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'll totally
Honestly,
do it.
depending on how many attacks they have and what position you're in terms of your healer, you might just want to just eat the 0 hit
I mean,
points.
to
I'm
be
glad
to
they
be
give
fair,
you the
at 20th
like-
at 20th
Artificer
level, you know
infusions?
12 infusions.
No, you can only have 6 though, I believe.
No, those are yeah, infusion. Are infusions
Infusions
are
are
attunements?
different.
Yeah, that's just you making magic items.
Yes, and there's a limit to how many of those you can have made.
I know, but
and-
I don't know. I will say that once you're at 20th level, the ones you've made might not be that great,
Mhm.
and you don't even have to
Fair.
be attuned to them.
Yeah,
Fair.
so I think you could end an infusion that you're not attuned to.
Yeah,
True.
then you have no loss.
Very true.
And so you do probably have a buffer of at least 6 times that you can do this. Obviously takes a reaction, so like you can't do it twice in one turn. But
Oh, really? That's fine.
anyway, not a bad oh shit button. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the infusions. So arcane propulsion armor. This is the Iron Man suit. Walking speed by 5. I just went to check if Steven had
Oh. Do you want me to go ask? And if he's still on the phone, we'll just order. Oh. So it'll be interesting to see the arcane propulsion armor because armor gets stuff, and this is based on at 14th level.
Yeah,
I assume it doesn't stack with it.
these fucking outside cats. I swear, I don't know why they love to drink out of the fountain. There's
Running
literally
water is
clean
safer.
water
It's
for
not
them
running.
sitting outside.
Yeah, it's stagnant water that sits outside in
Ew.
the dead fountain. It's bad.
That's worse.
Yes, we which is why we put out clean water, but the cats are still like, no.
I love dirty water.
I like it when you add the worms into the water.
Yeah. So let's see. The gauntlets are 1d8 force damage on a hit with the throne property. Oh my god, wait, what?
That's funny.
You can rocket punch people? Okay, that does kind of rule, not gonna lie.
Do they return?
It
Yeah,
does
it does.
return.
Immediately returns the user and reattaches. The dirty
very
water is
funny.
high in minerals. No, it's not. It's high in dirt.
Dirt is a mineral.
No, it's not.
Dirt contains minerals.
Armor of magical strength. Steven does want a sandwich, by the way.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad we
The
learned
armor
it.
has 6 charges. The wearer can expend the charges in the following ways. Bonus to intelligence modifier on strength checks or saving throws. If a creature would be knocked prone, reaction to spend 1 charge. Blah 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 blah. Not that useful. Armor of tools. You can
Lets you
infused
spawn
armor
tools.
has tools in it. Interesting. Boots of the Winding Path.
Great.
6th level. A creature can teleport up to 15 feet as a bonus action. Ooh. The creature must have occupied that space at some point during the current turn. Oh.
Eh.
That's not.
That's
Good.
less good. While holding this item, a creature gains +1 bonus to spell attacks, rolls, ignores half cover making spell attacks. Bonus increases to +2 when you reach 10th level. So this is like half of a +1 weapon.
Oh, you're right.
Great.
Well, no, it's that's how they all work, isn't it?
Do they not increase spell save DC?
Oh, you're right. Okay, good to know. Well, there's no standard one, but yeah.
Okay, a creature gains a +1 bonus to armor class while wearing armor wielding the shield. That's a pretty handy one. +1 AC on your armor, +1 AC to your shield. You can
That's great.
pop both. Sounds pretty good. To
AC
me.
is strong.
This
It's a
is
lot
a
stronger
very
than weapon attacks.
AC heavy class, if I recall correctly.
Enhanced weapon is just a +1 weapon, no strings attached. Helm of Awareness, advantage on initiative rolls.
You
where
can
it cannot
hand
be
these +1
surprised.
weapons to people, right?
You
so.
absolutely can.
Pretty sure you can.
Yep, and they don't require attunement unless it says so, I believe.
Nice.
Helm of Awareness, where it can't be surprised, can't be provided is not incapacitated. Homunculus Servant.
Oh God.
Let's see.
Does it have any meaningful in combat stats? It can fly.
Let's see.
It's really just a familiar.
1d4 plus your proficiency bonus force damage, and it's 1d20 plus your spell attack modifier to hit. The spell, or it can also, as a reaction, deliver a spell you cast that has a range of touch. The homunculus must be within 120 feet of you.
It also has hit points equal to 1 plus your artificer level.
Yeah.
Well, minions are good. What
Wasn't
level did you get
Brendan
this homunculus?
cheesing something about homunculi?
That was a different. That was,
think
that
that
was
was-
like a spell. That was like a.
I think that was a different one.
That was necromancy bullshit, yeah. This is you get this at 1 if you want, assuming you can get a gem or crystal worth at least 100 gold.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Oh.
it's not terrible.
That's a difficult level 1, but not that difficult.
I just hope it doesn't die. But
Oh, is it? Yeah, it's just gone for good if it dies, huh?
I believe so.
Wait, yeah. It vanishes, leaving its heart in its place if it dies.
Interesting.
Oh, also it takes a bonus action on your turn to command it to do something else. So this eats your bonus action each turn.
Most
doesn't do
minions
that.
do.
Well, no, that's Pathfinder.
I
I
think
think
it was. I think it was a bonus action to command the mage of whatever.
How quickly do you get it back if it
Maybe.
dies? Takes a long rest for all infusions. So this is probably same deal.
That's fair.
Yep.
It's not like we haven't really seen a use for their bonus action yet, unless I'm mistaken.
We'll see.
Not really. Okay, so Mind Shard, I think it's probably tucked away in like subclass features. But I mean, it's good to know that they have a potential like minion if they want it.
Yep.
For sure.
You can expend 1 charge to succeed a con save that you fail. as a reaction
To maintain concentration.
to maintain concentration. That actually seems pretty handy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is
even if
nice,
you're
yeah.
not wearing it, like I'm pretty sure your spellcasters would really appreciate that.
They would. Just like it takes a reaction. Usually the times that you fail a concentration check are the times when you also use reaction, either for shield or absorb elements. But
No, because if you're using shield, then the idea is you're probably not being hit.
you
Or, like,
hope you're
if-
not.
Or right, but like if you're gonna get hit, right? If you see the attack roll, you probably aren't gonna cast shield.
The first one, not the next three. Radiant weapon. Oh, I remember this one.
+1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. Bonus action to cause it to shed bright light. Weapon has 4 charges. You can expend 1 charge when you hit, and cause the attacker to be blinded, unless the attacker succeeds on a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. So this is is it literally called Blinding Smite?
Oh, I don't know the smites. I just.
I don't know if it might be.
One of the smites does this, I'm pretty sure.
It does blind, yeah. That is accurate.
When getting hit, though?
No. It was you hit someone and they have to make a save to avoid
Gotcha.
being blinded.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Repeating shots. Ignores the loading property. This is for ammunition. Weapon with the ammunition property. If you load no ammunition in the weapon, it produces its own, creating 1 piece of magic ammunition that when you make a ranged attack with it. Okay. Replicate magic item. Okay, so this is you can just use infusions to make magic items.
Yep. At certain levels, obviously, they have restrictions, but
So alchemy jug, bag of holding, always good. Cap of water breathing, goggles of night, rope of climbing, sending stones, wand of magic detection, wand of secrets. At 6, you can do boots of elvenkind, cloak of elvenkind, or cloak of the manta ray, eyes of charming, gloves of thievery, lantern of revealing, pipes of haunting, ring of water walking. 10th is strident swinging.
I'm so glad you didn't read through all of those.
Yeah.
Some of these are good. A lot of these are very good.
Yeah. So anyway, but I don't think this is going to affect our subclass ranking.
Probably not.
These items.
Probably not.
Hey, winged boots though. That gives them flight at 10th level, even sooner than all the sorcerer ones. But yeah, they all get these, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we look at the subclasses?
Spell refueling ring, returning weapon, resistant armor. Yeah, okay. Let's look at the subclasses.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the
All right.
first one is Alchemist. Sorry, hang on. I just need to drink some water real quick. Okay. So, starting at 3rd level, you always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the Alchemist spells table. These spells count as Artificer spells for you, but don't count against the number of Artificer spells you prepare. Healing Word, hey, Ray of Sickness, Flaming Sphere, Melf's Acid Arrow, Gaseous Form, Mass Healing Word, Blight, Death Ward, Cloud Kill, Raise Dead. Seems
Healing
pretty
word's
handy.
good.
That is good.
That's all I got. The other ones are kind of eh.
I mean, Healing Word and Mass Healing
Mass
Word.
Healing
They're actually yeah, mass
Mass
healing
Healing
word's
Word's
nice.
good.
You
And
might
then-
take
and
flaming.
then Raise Dead if you really need a raise.
Yeah,
At that level,
true.
like-
At 17th level though. Hold on.
But I mean, at
Do
that
they not
level, like if you
normally
don't
get-
have anybody else.
Yeah, they get Revivify though.
Oh, dude, Artificers get Revivify?
Yeah, so it's
Just
not
generally?
that
Oh, you're right.
impactful.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay. At third level, when you finish a long rest, you can magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask you touch. Roll on the experimental elixir table for the elixir's effect, which is triggered when someone drinks it. As an action, the creature can drink or administer it to an incapacitated creature. You can create additional experimental elixirs by expending a... Wait, hold on. You know what's really funny?
What?
Because of the way that this is worded, it means that you can't apply an elixir to somebody who is conscious.
Is that not
Wait,
normal?
what do you mean conscious? You mean unconscious?
No. So like, you can drink it as an action.
Okay.
You can administer it to an incapacitated creature as an action. You cannot administer it to a capacitated creature as an action.
That's funny.
I think that's deliberate. I don't think they want you to be force feeding experimental elixirs to your party members.
No, they could just say a willing other creature. Like, it'd be stupid if it was deliberate.
It's stupid. It's also stupid to think about just the mental image of just your barbarian running into battle and you just shoving a fucking elixir straight down their throat as they sprint in.
You say this like you've never seen Team Fortress 2 happen.
No, but literally a guy just like runs up and is like, "Here, drink this," and he just like you pour it down his mouth.
Okay, let me put this in words that you can understand. It's like you've never seen a nano boost go off.
That's a little bit different.
Nano
You're not
boost is
drinking
weird,
it
though.
Yeah, that's a dart.
And you're actually shooting your allies.
It's literally my issue with this is and yeah. Anyway, I don't find that weird. Is all I'm saying.
I do.
I do.
Because I think that if you have something like an item, it is completely okay, and in fact should be rather expected that you should be able to apply it to somebody using your action.
Yeah, I agree in all scenarios except that this one has to be drunk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it makes sense like mechanically. It's very slightly weird in my mind thematically.
I mean, I feel like there's no real difference between that and somebody who is incapacitated, you know? And like
there isn't well,
and
there
the thing
isn't
is,
really,
if somebody
except for...
is somebody is incapacitated, I don't think that necessarily means that they're unconscious also. So you could do it to somebody who is conscious but cannot move.
True. All right, what does this actually do?
You can heal them a decent amount. You could make them move faster for an hour. You could give them 1 AC for 10 minutes. You can give them bless for a minute. You can give them 10 foot of flying speed for 10 minutes, or you could give them the alter self spell for 10 minutes, like of the effect of that spell.
You know ahead of time what this does, right?
The alter self spell. It's the
flask.
You know ahead of time what it does, but it's random when you make it.
When you make it, but you do know when you make it. Okay.
So you're like, let's see what I make. Oh, it's a resilience potion.
Yeah. You can expend additional spell slots for each one. When you do so, you can use your action to create the elixir in an empty flask. So basically, you get one for free. It looks like, one experimental elixir for free, and then you can make more by expending spell slots. Which, to be fair, like you could or you couldn't. Depends.
How long do these last? I guess just until drunk. It looks like.
Any elixir you create with this lasts until the end of your long rest. Yeah.
I knew they wouldn't let you choose it like that.
And then you have 2 of them at 6 level,
and 3 at 15.
Okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. Sure. I don't think this is that strong, to be honest.
I don't think so. The effects themselves are not that strong, aside from being able to fly at 3rd level. But like the fact that you have to roll randomly on a table makes them a lot weaker.
Yeah.
I don't even think the flying one's that great. Actually, okay, never mind. I do think the flying one's that great if you have time to get a little higher than 10 feet. Like,
Yes.
Actually, 10 feet's enough, I guess. I don't know. That is pretty strong.
I don't know. I guess it's a flying speed without hover, right?
Yeah.
So if you end your turn, wouldn't you just come back to the ground?
No.
Hover.
Oh no, that's just if you get knocked prone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boldness is also strong because you could literally bless someone and boldness someone, and that's hilarious.
True.
Oh, that is funny.
It's for like again, these are all pretty much all pre-buff things except for the healing.
Except for the healing. I also think I think to be fair also none of the effects are bad actually.
No.
Other than maybe like swiftness is a little bit weaker.
Underwhelming. Maybe it'll help Tyler.
I think alter self. I think alter self is a little underwhelming in most combat
That's the
situations.
worst one.
Yeah.
Is it?
It doesn't do anything for combat unless you need to swim and you need that swim speed.
It's often a utility thing or an out of combat thing.
Yeah.
You're not really gonna use it for natural weapons.
The only one you would have is natural weapons, which is your unarmed strikes would become a 1d6 with a +1 to damage and attack.
Basically useless.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well,
if think of this,
okay, there are niche scenarios in which it is useful because they count as magical weapons, basically.
So in the very, very niche situation where you happen to roll this and you happen to be going against like a werewolf,
and you don't already have magical weapons,
and you're an artificer who makes magical weapons, can't you already make +1 weapons?
Yes.
Oh, that's probably true, actually.
So it's useless.
Yeah. At 5th level, you've developed masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of the spell. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage, and the bonus equals your intelligence modifier minimum of 1. That doesn't seem that good.
It's a tiny amount of damage. Admittedly, it applies to all of the damage. But you don't have great. But you don't have great AOEs.
Spells. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you heal a little bit more, but like you're not really a main healer to begin with, so it doesn't really matter.
So it hits all the enemies with what? It doesn't even work on like Thunderwave. It's like.
Yeah, it's not good.
What are we using this on?
I mean, honestly, I was say you don't have Fireball at this level, right?
I'm currently trying to find the Artificer spell list.
At Fireball, you get it at 9th level. So.
No, you don't normally get Fireball. Right?
Wait, I don't think it's on their spell list.
Oh,
they don't get Fireball.
Oh, they don't even get Fireball.
No, they just don't get it.
Okay. So also. I think really this is just so that your cantrips do more damage, right?
God, Artificers would be so much stronger if they just got Fireball.
Well, every class would be stronger if they got Fireball.
Nope, not Wizards.
Wizards already have Fireball.
Well, yeah, because they already have Fireball.
That is the joke, yes.
It doesn't count if they already have it.
It's true. It's a true statement.
I'm destroying your joke. I'm throwing it in the garbage can.
It was a good joke. How dare you?
I like it.
Listen, you can't make a tier list and not be a pedantic asshole from time to time.
Of course.
I'm looking at their spell list. They really don't get any good AoEs, not baseline anyway.
No, because they don't even get stuff like Shatter.
Shatter, yeah, and they would get Shatter super late.
4th level, nothing really. 5th level.
Yep. All right, good to keep in mind for the very good to keep in mind for the subclasses.
Right.
So yeah, this
is
only really
Tasha's
just
Caustic Brew. What the fuck?
Oh, it's a line AoE.
Oh, I love line
Is it all right?
AoEs.
Is it good?
First level spell. It does 2d4 acid damage at the start of each turn.
Unless they take an action to scrape or wash the acid off.
So when would this apply the So it would each of those creatures would take 2d4 plus 5. So it would double the damage of Tasha's Caustic Brew if you have 20 int.
Which is the problem is it's a damage over time, which is like just not that good of an effect in D&D usually.
It takes
True, but would it
concentration.
apply? Would it apply every time it ticks its damage?
Probably. Let's see if they worded it.
Because if you get 3 rounds of this,
it's whenever you cast a spell. I think
it might not apply
means
at
it applies. I think that means it only applies to the initial cast.
so it doesn't work on this spell.
Yeah, I guess not.
I think I would read it that way, as absurd as it is. Am I wrong?
Whenever you cast a spell, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of that spell. I don't know. I think
Maybe it applies, but it would only
work.
You know, it might still work, but it'd only be the 1 because it's 1 roll. That's the other interpretation.
You're right.
At best, you get 1 roll.
And
At
since
best,
all the creatures are taking their turns at different turns, it'll only apply to one of the creatures.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse.
Okay.
Not that
Good.
it was that good to begin. I think this is literally
No.
just to boost your cantrips.
Yep.
It is a nice cantrip boost, I guess.
Yeah, I mean
Sure.
fifth level like cantrip boost. Like, does anybody
Yeah.
else get cantrip boost at level 5? I don't think so.
From what I can tell with artificers, you're gonna be using cantrips a lot because you're not very strong.
Because
Oh.
you don't. I mean, at least in this subclass, like for sure, you're just you're a worse warlock.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Although
Warlocks.
we do put some. Remember how we put value on the handout enlarge reduce potions? This is handout potions that I would say on average are slightly stronger than that, but you get less of them.
2d4 plus int mod. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm mostly considering based on like flight and like boldness.
It's random though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like not reliable.
Yep.
No.
So you can't reliably just pre-buff all day every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big problem with it.
So it is weaker then.
So
Maybe
at
they get-
9th level, you can incorporate restorative
Yeah, less.
agents into some of your works. Whenever a creature drinks an experimental elixir you created, the creature gains temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum 1 temp hit point. You can cast lesser restoration without expending a spell slot and without preparing the spell, provided you use alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus. You can do so a number of times equal your int mod, and you gain all expended use when you finish a long rest.
The last one is very niche.
It's niche. It's useful when it comes up, but it's not going to come up super overly often unless you're in a campaign where I guess you just get like poisoned a lot.
Yeah, I don't know when this would be super critical, but yeah. And temp HP, so it's basically just giving creatures temp HP.
Is that how much? Let's say 2d6 plus int mod is like, say 3.57, 12 temporary hit points. That's like not a bad amount. And I mean, honestly, at that point, like, it means that a healing elixir, if applied to somebody who is unconscious, is like sudden. I think that is generally in the range of like being able to take around one more hit.
What level
however
do you
useful
get
that may
this?
be. This is a
Ninth?
level 9 ability.
Yeah. Assuming they don't already have one from one of the others, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it functionally doubles the amount of healing that you get from a healing potion if you want to drink it preemptively. I think it's not a bad thing, but it's also just like, how many potions are you making at 9th level, right? Like 2 potions for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then Artificer spell list. 9th level.
It also varies. You can't always put it on the target that you want, depending on. But at least it will always go on a target, right?
Yeah.
Because who knows which one of
mean,
these you want to give to who? I guess
you
it'll
could-
change.
You could I think you, with the amount of resources that you have, you could reasonably buff your entire party for 12 hit points per person. It's not terrible.
It's
It's a little boring.
okay, but I consider it's definitely boring, and it's not. We haven't seen other artificers, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's not going to be. It's not the most power that you're going to see in a 9th level ability, because
No.
that's not very much.
It's 2 creatures here, so yeah.
I mean, it's 2 creatures for free, but like two first level spell slots, and suddenly it's 4 creatures, which is somewhat better. I mean, what else are you going to use first level spell slots on, really?
I don't know, but you know, one's first level spell slot to give yourself 2d6 plus int. It's not terrible, but, and I'm not sure if there's anything better, but it's not. Yeah, it still hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it has any like real limitations on it though. Like they're gonna last until you take a long rest. Like this is the easiest pre-buff in the world.
It won't stack with any other features that also add temp HP though.
Yeah, but the other feature that you're probably gonna be using is aid, which isn't temporary hit points.
It does stack with aid. But I meant from other classes, but yeah. Okay. Chemical mastery.
Resistance to acid.
You
and
gain
poison
resistance
damage.
to acid and poison damage, and you are immune to the poisoned condition. You can cast Greater Restoration and Heal without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without providing the material component, provided you use alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus. Once you cast either spell with this feature, you cannot cast that spell again with it again until you finish a long rest. So you can cast 1 greater heal per long rest, or 1 greater restoration per long rest, and 1 heal per long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Heal is nice.
Heal is a good spell.
Heal is notable because it's a 6th level spell, which
Yeah.
artificers normally cannot even cast.
You'll be happy with that.
They only get up to 5th level spell slots, so heal is a great spell, arguably one of the best healing spells in the game. And Greater Restoration is niche, but when you need it, it's very good.
Yeah, and it's like you get 1 per long rest. That's
True.
probably as many as you'll ever need.
Yeah.
And the best part is that it's free.
It's free,
You don't need to
which means you don't ever have to sleep again.
Wow.
Sleep through the night. Don't sleep through the night. Rather,
That's
just
actually
keep
funny.
up. You gain 1 level of exhaustion. You cast Greater Restoration.
Wait, that's fucking
Remove that drug.
hilarious.
It's cocaine artificer time, baby.
Oh
I mean, it
my.
only chains once though, because you have to take a long rest to get the ability back.
You're right.
Oh shit!
You're
It doesn't
right.
work.
Oh no, but you can cocaine someone else trivially because
Yes,
you take the long
exactly.
rests. Yeah,
Suddenly, someone in your party never has to sleep again.
you cast Greater Restoration, get rid of their exhaustion, and then you sleep, and then you get rid of it again in the morning.
Anything to not sleep.
funny.
Yep.
It's the greatest cocaine wizard enabler. I love it.
It's so funny that people always come up with these like really jank solutions to never have to sleep again when like elves exist.
Yeah. Well,
Like
it's
you're
not just
still
never have to-
conscious during your rest.
It's that you
Yeah.
don't have to take her.
It's no long rest is the big thing because I'll still have to take those. Anyway, that's pretty good. The resistance is kind of but you know, it's resistance. You'll take it.
Yeah. Is never taking a long rest again like good?
I don't remember the scenario in which that was a good thing.
I
but
know
for the
I know
most
that
part,
for I know
no.
that for the warlock cheese, it was because you only ever had to take short rests that it worked. So like maybe if you were playing something like a fighter where you get all your shit back on a short rest.
I'm here to tell you that for 95% of the classes, not ever taking a long rest is not a good thing. It's all a bad thing and was deeply unhelpful. But a free Greater Restoration might come in handy if something bad happens to someone, gets petrified or who fucking knows, cursed. I don't remember all the things a Greater Restoration cures, but it's basically all of them.
Yeah, I mean at 15th level it's
very
really
late. But that's when you most need Greater Restoration. Heal's also nice. It's just, yeah. But it is more healing. It's weird that this is going to be the healer one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And as for how much healing utility you actually get, it's really weirdly unreliable. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
it's not much.
most likely this class gameplay loop is going to come down to you are casting cantrips until you need to cast Healing Word, and then you cast Healing Word in addition to your cantrip. And that's it, basically. That's your character, like, gameplay loop.
So first Artificer. I want to be generous and drop it in C.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
I don't know if it will stay there.
I feel like it's gonna go down.
I
but
think
we'll
it's.
see.
I feel like this is a D
I think
subclass.
better safe to start here than, you know.
Yeah, I kind of think this is a D subclass overall, but I don't know where the other Artificer ones stand, so maybe I'm wrong.
Fair enough. Okay. Number 2 is Archivist, Tools of the Trade. You gain proficiency with calligrapher supplies and forgery kit, assuming you don't have them. You gain them for free. The blah 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 blah. If you craft a magic item in the scroll, oh god.
Yep, doesn't matter.
If you craft a magic item in the scroll category, it takes you a quarter of the normal time, and it costs you half as much of the usual gold.
Not very useful.
Nope.
How does crafting spell scrolls work? I'm
Do
afraid
we
to ask.
care?
It's actually quite expensive, and it takes a lot of time when you go beyond like first and second level spells.
Okay.
First and second level spells are like feasible, anything beyond that, and it's just like it takes forever. It takes so many
third
long.
level spell, just like as an example. Give me how much it would
well,
be.
let's look it up. You think I remember the goddamn table?
Well, yeah, it's D&D crafting. We don't care about this shit.
Spell scroll 5e.
I can't believe they've made an entire class that is like focused around crafting, and they still refuse to put a crafting mechanic in the game.
Wait, what class is? Oh, Artificer as a whole. They don't craft. They just imbue.
Well, they have things for crafting. To be fair.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's gonna affect the power level.
No, I'm not saying that it will affect the power level. I'm saying that they intend for it to be a crafting class.
I found the table, and according to this, it looks like it takes 1 day to make a cantrip or a first level spell, and it costs 15 to 25 gold. Second level spells. Oh, let me just link this so you can look at it in the on-air channel.
Okay,
but you'll notice that a 9th level spell costs 250,000 gold.
Okay, so a third level spell slot, a third level spell takes 5 days of work. So you would cut that down to like essentially a day and a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it would cost 250 gold instead of 500. Yeah, I mean honestly, that doesn't seem
usable.
Terrible. Wait, how do spell scrolls work?
You use them once. You have to have it on you. Technically, according to the rules, you have to know that spell on your spell list.
Okay, so you have to know the spell to make it.
And to be able to cast it. I always ruled that like anyone who uses spell scrolls it's fun that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, spell scrolls are really boring.
Do you get So okay, when you do that, do you have does your spell slot continue to be occupied, or do you get it back when you take a rest?
You get it back when you take a rest. It's basically you're spending money to just have more
spells, right?
Yes, spell slots specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, not unique spells.
You don't get to learn. You don't get to cast any spells that you couldn't normally cast, and you can't create spells that you can't normally cast. So all this does is give you effectively more spell slots
at the cost of money.
At the cost of money. At the cost of money and large quantities of time.
Okay, so
and this reduces that time and money.
To be honest, like with 1/4 time and 1/2 gold cost, that means that in 1 day of work, you can make 4 healing words for 48 gold. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't know healing word though.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. Only alchemists get healing word. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's nothing, especially because like as an artificer, you're never going to get 9th level spells. So this just means that you can essentially make spell scrolls of. Let's be like reasonably. Let's consider this reasonably. And say like. A 4th level spell is probably the highest that you will ever offload onto a spell scroll. It would take you 2 days, or 2.5 days, and 1,200 gold pieces. Which at like what level you have that is not terrible. Now, are 4th level spells useful as an artificer? Looking at this, no, actually, really not.
But let's look. The highest level spell you'll ever grab is a 5th level.
It's probably Bigby's hand. Is probably what you're doing, or Greater Restoration.
Sorry, did you say animate objects?
Oh, I didn't even realize I was up there. Yeah, it's animate objects for sure.
Oh, maybe not because it's like 17th level and they might be immune to the effects. In which case, you do Bigby's hand. But those are your options.
Man.
Yeah, no.
I think the big problem here is that artificer spells just aren't really that good.
Yep.
And
anyway,
to be fair,
would take how long again? 5 days to make.
A 5th level spell would take 5 days to make. Yes.
How much gold?
2,500 gold.
2,500 gold.
Woof.
Great. So, I think you have enough 5th level spells anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I was actually gonna bring this up. I think the big problem with this is that as weirdly. Even as a half caster, I really don't think you're hurting for spell slots.
Yep.
You're just hurting for spell quality.
Yeah, that's
Level.
the
I
argument.
think that's the big thing.
That's the argument I make every time these come up. It's so funny. It's so weird.
People don't run out of spell slots. That
I
often.
know, and yet it feels like the most precious resource in the game when you're playing it. But like when you look at it objectively, unless you're doing, I guess as you're doing it as wizards, quote unquote, intended, and doing 4 to 6 encounters per long rest.
Or if you're playing a second level fighter and warlock.
And you don't do that, then otherwise it's just not a big deal. Most of the time, there are some. Definitely times you'll.
Very early levels,
I think
like
this feature
1 and 3, like you're valuing your spell slots because you got like 3 of them ever.
I think the thing about this is that this feature is potentially useful if you are a low level character, but you need time and money, which can be hard to come by as a low level character.
Yeah, that's the time you're least likely to have either or both of those things. So as a result, yes, agreed. So overall, but that's not even the real feature.
Yeah,
this is the ribbon feature plus a proficiency.
At third level, you get these Archivist spells: comprehend language, dissonant whispers, detect thoughts, locate objects, hypnotic pattern, tongues, locate creature, phantasmal killer, legend lore, and modify memory. Do Artificers normally get hypnotic pattern? No. That's pretty good. And honestly, I would say hypnotic pattern is actually a pretty handy spell to have some extra copies of. Being able to just like toss them out willy nilly takes
I would agree.
1 and a bit days, 250 gold. I wouldn't say that's too unreasonable at 9th level.
Yeah. Even at 9th level, it's still a strong spell.
It is. I think I would still caveat that with you probably won't need more than 1 or 2 per day. Hot take.
I don't know.
I actually don't agree.
You think you'd rather be spamming that than
we've seen people spam it on multiple groups of enemies. It doesn't turn all the enemies.
I think I think the more times you have access to a spell like hypnotic pattern, the better. And like the thing about hypnotic pattern that makes it so good in comparison to a lot of other spells is that it's not a damaging spell.
It is concentration though, so it's not like you can't really spam it unless your first one happens to fail. Then it's nice to have a backup.
Right. This is absolutely backup.
And then if that one fails, then you need another backup. Well, that's the thing, right? So and it takes a full day of downtime, and it costs gold. Anyway, doesn't matter.
You might just not end up doing it.
Yeah. That's my thinking. Is I think you're unlikely to do it. It's not bad.
To be fair, we haven't really talked about this that much, but I actually have like no idea, like literally less than 0 idea of how much downtime other groups take, because we take very little downtime, unless except for in Pathfinder, we take a lot of downtime because there's like mechanics attached to downtime. But it feels like D&D really, at least I don't really take a lot of downtime.
Yep.
None of my groups have ever. Dan?
Nope, not very much.
Yeah.
Because D&D does not. If you don't mechanically put a system for downtime into the game, people get things done in a day or 2.
Yep.
Yeah. Spell scrolls probably work well with the utility spells in the least. I mean, yeah, it's a way of just having access to spells that you might know but might not have prepared. Like the thing about Artificers is that they are actually somewhat limited by the wizard problem, but like more because they know less spells and they can prepare less spells.
But
although honestly, not that many less spells, because they still get it's half their level, right? So they still get their flat int bonus to preparing spells at least.
Yeah.
All right, so next.
Yeah, how about the actual class features? I hope. God, I hope.
So when you finish a long rest and your calligrapher supplies are with you, you can magically rouse a keen mind within it, a tiny non-magical object on which you write mystical symbols. The object is a magic item while the mind is inside, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus. The magic item has the following properties. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
This seems
so much.
No, this seems really familiar.
Wait, from what?
Don't tell me it's gonna be another sniper book.
No.
Well,
Manifest Mind.
Manifest Mind. Yeah. Anyway,
300 feet?
Telepathic advisor. The artificial mind telepathic supplies you with advice and information about certain topics while the item is on your person. You have proficiency in two skills of your choice. The item's main material determines which skills you choose from, as shown in the artificial mind table in the skill proficiencies column. So you can choose from animal handling, insight, medicine, perception, or survival, deception, intimidation, performance, or persuasion, or arcana, history, investigation, nature, or religion. So you basically get a rotating list of skill proficiencies, which is pretty handy.
Cool. I like it.
As a bonus action while the item is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral presence hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. This presence is intangible and invulnerable, and it sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. You determine its appearance as an action, a dark vision of 60 feet. As an action, you can hear and see using the mind senses instead of your own until your concentration ends, as if concentrating on a spell. As a bonus action, you can cause the spectral mind to hover up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see, or it can pass through creatures but not objects. The spectral mind stops manifesting if it is ever more than 300 feet away from its magic item, or if you dismiss it as a bonus action. When you cast an artificial spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind space instead of your own, using its senses. You can do so a number of times per day, equals your intelligence modifier at least once, and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
So there's a limit to how many times you could do it.
So this is limited. Okay, this is okay. It's all right.
There's a lot of ways this is limited.
I'm coming to terms with this because it means this is hilarious because it means that they had to go through at least 2 different iterations before landing on the one that they printed, and the one that they printed is busted.
Oh.
2. It's limited by your intelligence modifier, so you can only cast spells to the drone 5 times, which is a good limiting factor, and I'm not sure why it's not in the printed version. 3, you're an artificer and not a wizard.
Yeah, I was gonna put that up. Like, what the fuck are you doing back there? Like, I cast Firebolt or something. Like, like the wizard. It is so strong when it's invulnerable because you are the most valuable member of the team, and if all the enemies have to focus on your allies and you just get to blast away for free, that's amazing. The artificer, you're so not useful that you should be eating a few hits for your more useful allies, not hiding away.
Yeah, your HP bar is a mitigation resource,
right?
God.
Like, don't just hide away and make your more valuable people die.
Agreed. Also, the other caveat on this that maybe I'm wrong, but it takes an action to see through its senses instead of your own, which actually I feel like the other one didn't. So like, it requires more setup as well. It's
broadly not as useful. I'm shocked that this was not what they did with the other one.
Yes, for real.
Okay, information overload.
Yeah.
As an action while the item is on your person, you can try to magically overload the thoughts of one creature you or the mind can see that is within 5 feet of the manifest mind, channeling a jumble of information from the artificial mind. Unless the target succeeds on an int save against your spell save DC, the target takes 1d8 psychic damage, and the next attack roll against it before the end of your next turn has advantage, since it is temporarily too distracted to defend itself. The damage increases by 1d8 when they reach 5th level, 11th level, and 17th level. Whenever you deal damage with this feature, you can expend a spell slot to deal extra damage. The extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot, plus 1d8 for each spell slot for spell level higher than the first. Okay, finally, you get Smite.
Oh boy. And it's like, it does the advantage thing.
Okay, is
this
Smite
though?
Any good?
Let me see.
So, you can
they have to be within 5 feet of your book?
Yeah. Of your manifested book, which is invulnerable.
So you could use a bonus action to push your book 30 feet towards someone, then use your action to zap them, correct?
Well, so you can manifest it within 60 feet. So it's actually a 60-foot range to begin with.
And what does it cost to manifest it? A bonus action?
Bonus action.
All right. And that's bonus action is to move it 30 feet out. All right. So you manifest it with someone within 60 feet, then you zap them. And it does...
to be honest...
If they fail, it does 1d8.
To be honest, this is an int save to be able to divine smite somebody.
I don't think this is divine smiting.
Is hold on? It's only I've become distracted by something, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But
Okay.
Is it divine smite if it's independent of the damage of like? Are you cantripping as well on top of this?
No. This is your
but
full action.
this is basically a cantrip, right? Because it does 1d8 psychic damage.
So it's just a
guess so.
cantrip. It's not divine smite.
Well, the bottom line.
Well, whenever
the
you deal
bottom two
damage with
lines.
this feature, you can expend a spell slot to deal extra damage
thank
to
you.
the target. I swear, I beg of you.
You have to trust me. There's a reason I was distracted, but continue.
Okay, the extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot, plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first.
That's good. It's just there's a little the problem that inherently this is gonna be weaker because you don't have extra attack. A paladin can attack twice.
That's true.
And Nova someone. This is once per turn at most, and if it even hits. Well, actually, so if they succeed, they take 0 damage, right?
Yes.
There's also no critting.
There is also no critting, but crit is like.
Okay, but like crit divine smite is a nice
listen,
feature.
Everybody loves crit divine smite.
And crit divine smite,
But it's only a 5% chance.
No. Crit divine smite is one of the few things that goes a lot higher than 5% because you get to choose to divine smite when you crit.
True.
So you're ending up divine smiting like I would argue like 15 to 20% of your divine smites are happening on crits.
Okay, yeah, but that doesn't. So the thing is, like, yes,
You can't do that with this feature.
I mean, yes, okay, that is true, but also I would say like at like 15% of your divine smites going to crits doesn't.
No, it's not that impactful.
Yeah, it's still operating off of a 5% proc chance for you to crit in the first place, right?
Yeah. You're getting a lot more procs chances because you have extra attack though.
Yes. Yeah. So that does make it weaker than divine smite.
So let's look at this. How worth is this? You get this at 3rd level.
Yep.
You have 1st level spell slots, so you could hit someone for 3d8 damage single target.
Wait, can you just wait? Do artificers get shatter?
No, they don't.
They do not.
Wizards could just shatter,
Yeah.
which is just directly better in every way.
Yeah. I mean, that is true.
In fact, we're neglecting that a paladin normally gets to add like his 2d6 plus 5 weapon damage onto their hit as well. This is just 1d8.
Yeah.
The only thing this has going for it, I think, is the fact that it has that its next attack has disadvantage. Like, sure, whatever, that's a little bonus.
Well, hold on, but we're not comparing this to paladins because paladin is a totally different class. The thing this is going for it is that it's better
against
than
other artificers.
Yeah,
It's a
seems
better
better
use
than
of your
alchemists.
spells. It seems like a better use of your spell slots than alchemist.
Yeah, so since your spells are pretty weak, is it worth it to just dunk your spells away? I don't know if you have enough. Like, okay, compare this to a cantrip from Alchemist. Your Alchemist cantrip, right? It's just a D10 or whatever.
Yep.
This is a D8, and then you spend a 1st level spell. I suppose this is best compared to Magic Missile, right? 3d8 as opposed to Magic Missile. Magic Missile is, what was it, 10.5 or something? Yeah, 10.5. This is 3d8, which is 13.5. So this is slightly better than Magic Missile, but it misses like half the time. So and then
What kind of save is it? Is it int?
It's an int save.
So it's hitting most of the time then.
Good chance to hit, I would say. Not guaranteed.
I
but
think
good chance.
this is a little bit better than a Magic Missile at the same cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, you don't. I'm pretty sure you don't get magic missile as an artificer.
Nope.
Yeah. But also you have to move the book around to target each person. It's like,
That's pretty clunky.
So clunky.
It is clunky. It is clunky, and
like,
it means
no,
that
they're away, they're 60 feet away. I'll move my book 30 feet with my bonus action. Next turn, if they stay still, they might be able to get my book within range of them.
it is essentially also the only skill that you get at 3rd level, other than base artificer features, which we've all agreed are fairly weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to distract this.
You're weak in general, though. So, like an 8th level, like let's say a 9th level artificial. You have 3rd level spells, but like, what are you casting with your 3rd level spell? Hypnotic pattern, right?
Hypnotic pattern, but only if you're an archivist.
Well, this is an archivist.
Yes.
We're-
I
yeah,
thought you
we're-
I thought you were talking about artificers in the general.
I'm speaking of this subclass just to rank this subclass. So honestly, you probably don't even want to use your third level spell slots. You only have 2 of those. So, but your second level spell slots, that's 48 damage. That's what is that? 18
No,
damage.
see, Dan, the big brain play is you offload all of you prepare a bunch of spell scrolls and then you offload all your spell slots on this feature.
Great. I don't think this is very good.
Is it better than Alchemist?
No,
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so.
Not at third level.
Man, maybe artificers just suck.
I mean, that was
But-
maybe my experience.
We're seeing Armorer next, and I can tell you that one is a lot better. So
Yeah, that one's way better. Before we move on, the thing I got distracted by
Yeah.
is the fact that we did in fact fuck up a little
what?
Which
What did we
is-
do?
bit on the wizard one. There is a limitation. It's the exact same limitation almost. Whenever you cast a wizard on Manifest Mind, whenever you cast a wizard spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind space instead of your own. You can do so a number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you get them back on a long rest.
How did
So
we miss
the
that?
drone, I don't know. Well, there was a lot of text in that feature, but the drone wizard can only be a drone wizard for that number of spells.
For like 4 to 6 times because he gets that feature a little later or whatever.
It gets it at level 6, so it's 3 to
Oh,
6.
3 to 6 times. Yeah, that's not as good for sure.
That is,
That means it's not all encounters every day. It's
Yeah.
it's 1 to 2 encounters.
yes, exactly. You can't be. I don't think you can qualify it as literally invincible if you can only cast like 3 spells at level 6, invincibly.
Yeah,
With
that's
that
one
setup.
that's one encounter.
Yeah,
And if the
exactly.
encounter goes longer than 3 turns, you're like, "You guys got this, guys."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're off nowhere.
We read this so many times. How do we fucking miss this?
We missed the most important text of it. I can't believe this.
No one in the chat saw it.
Nobody
either.
fucking reads shit. I can't
We
believe
did-
it. I read that out loud. Ah!
It's so.
Listen, you're the reader.
Oh, so we
Actually,
might
did
need
I
to do an
even read that
addendum.
one? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I'm not gonna lie. I remember I was busy. Yeah.
Speaking of, our food has arrived, and apparently none of them are labeled.
Oh, good. All right. I think we should sort that out then. Unfortunately, unless we want to.
Let's finish this one.
Okay.
So at 5th level, you gain magical telephony. While you have your artificial mind item on your person, you can communicate telepathically with anyone carrying an item bearing one of your artificer infusions as the mind transmits, blah, 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 blah. That's not that useful. When you make a psychic damage roll for an artificer spell or for information overload, you gain a bonus to the damage roll equal to intelligence modifier. Cool. Can blame wizard for not having nice layout standards. Yeah, I guess so. Do we have to retroactively go back and fix the wizard spell list?
We'll talk about it after.
No, I don't know. It might still be fine in its ranking. We'll see.
Yeah, that's very underwhelming. At 14th level, when you expend a spell slot to increase the damage of information overload, the target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw against your spell save DC or be stunned until the end of your next turn. Okay, so it stuns now.
Wow.
In save or
In
stun?
save stun seems kind of gross.
That's suddenly a lot better.
Yeah.
And
Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure you don't get Rowlothim's Psychic Lance, so
It's infinite uses.
No, it's
so-
not. But it's spell slot uses.
it's spell slot uses, but like honestly, a first level spell slot to potentially stun
Yeah.
someone seems really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is 14th level though.
It's very late.
Very late.
What else
Oh,
did
it's
they-
so late.
But stun is always a good condition. I mean, obviously, you're not quite as good as a monk at stunning, just because monks get way more opportunities. But in save is so good. Your
Yeah.
odds are very
Yeah.
nice.
Monk's stun on a con save. Let's be clear here. It's way better.
Yeah. Okay. Monks. Okay, but like monk stun
But
is
monks
on
can
a
do it
con
3
save
times a
that you can
turn.
do like 3 times, 4 times actually.
4 times. Yeah.
We'd have to math that out. Anyway. And then as an action, and while your artificial mind item is on your person, you cause the mind to turn you into pure information, teleporting you to the unoccupied space nearest to the spectral mind, or to an item bearing one of your artificer infusions where you physically reappear. You can teleport in this way once for free, and you must finish a long rest before doing so again. You can
Okay.
also use the special ability by expending a spell slot of 2nd level or higher.
You're just popping around the battlefield. That's cool.
That's really funny. That's a really funny ability.
That's awesome. If you just hand out magic items, you can just
Yeah.
boop to them. I love that.
Here's
it takes
a
an action.
ring of protection. Boop.
Yeah, the action part sucks.
Action part sucks. I don't know if this is actually that like fantastic, but
No.
it's so
At 14th
funny.
level, it should be a bonus action.
Agree.
Yeah.
Well, then it would be arguably broken.
No. it wouldn't.
No.
We've seen so many classes that already just get that as bonus actions.
Yeah,
Okay.
but artificers suck, so it'd be broken on them.
No, they wouldn't because they're not doing anything useful anyway. Who cares if they die?
This
fair.
is literally like worse than just being able to cast Misty Step.
Yeah, it's just straight up worse than Misty Step.
If you have Misty Step, don't use this.
Like it
Agreed.
should be a bonus action.
Yeah,
It is cool though.
Yeah. Very cool,
So
but
wait,
not amazing.
yeah. So this class 1 through 13, how is it?
Bad.
Like that 5th level thing, is it at all impactful?
It's
at
like
all?
nothing. It like it
okay.
actually straight up is like nothing.
It adds into your cantrip,
Right.
to your new cantrip, so it's like it's a little better than magic missile, but it's still
it's really
I don't know,
not
it's
that
just-
good. But then it suddenly gets like pretty decent when you get the
Yeah.
ability to stun people.
What was the other?
It is totally viable to use that every turn.
What was the other half of the level 5 feature? Sorry.
Well, you can telepathically talk to people who are wearing your
okay.
infusions.
Perfect. Never mind.
This is bad, yeah. I think the 14th level comes way too late for this to be better than Alchemist.
So
I
it sits
agree-
in
I agree.
D.
Probably.
So I think it's D. Yeah.
I'm fine with this.
Which is interesting because I have a hunch that maybe Alchemist might move down, and I'm not sure if that would actually bump this into F because I'm not sure it can
I don't
be
think
F.
I don't think it could be F. We'll see.
What was this? It has hypnotic pattern, so
True, true.
Yeah.
Hypnotic pattern is still relevant at the level that you get it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, short break.
Short break to get some food.
We have to go sort out foods. Sorry.
okay.
I'm back. I don't know what it is. I've been just like really craving sandwiches lately.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just like, I could go for a sandwich right now.
Hello.
Very specific.
Sandwich acquired.
Wow, that's pretty good.
They really didn't have a lot on their menu, I guess, because fairly specialized place.
Yeah, I think it's mainly a deli. Oh, this is like kind of spicy. I like that. Ready to move on to armor?
Sure.
You're gonna have to read this one.
Me? All right,
Yes.
all right. Let me open it up. On
You
my
can get
own.
panini more often, but bread is weirdly expensive unless you're in the south of Italy. What the fuck?
What?
Excuse me?
How do you live in a
Bread?
place where bread is expensive? In Europe?
Yeah, wait,
What
what?
is going on in there? What's wrong with Italy?
Just get it in a supermarket. Anyway. Armor. They get tools of the trade when they get this specialization at 3rd level. You gain proficiency with heavy armor. You also gain proficiency with smith's tools. If you already have this tool proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other artisan's tool of your choice. So that's great. Heavy armor is great. Your armor spells, you get magic missile, thunder wave, mirror image, shatter, hypnotic pattern, lightning bolt, fire shield,
Holy
greater
shit!
invisibility,
Oh my
pass
god!
wall,
Whoa!
wall force. God, like 8 of these are nuts.
There's every single one is maybe not pass wall.
I don't think pass wall and fire shield are that great on an artificer.
True.
Fire shield is at least funny. So 8 to
These are
9 of these are
bangers.
really, really
Yeah,
good.
these are so good.
It's like all the spells you would want.
Yeah, except for healing word. But yeah, this is pretty much, yeah, it's great. You have lightning bolt, so you have an 8d6 thing. You have shatter so now you can spam shatters with your 11th level feature. You just have shatters now. Thunderwave's good and Wind Magic Missile, they're all right early. Great invisibility is obviously awesome, and wall force too. Anyway,
Evocation's
arcane armor.
top 10. Yeah, you're completely right. It's not expensive
yeah,
by our
but-
standards. It's just more expensive, way more terrible than in the south. Yeah, I mean, bread is just more expensive and terrible here in general.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, and we don't even need to talk about hypnotic pattern. It's funny that they get this and the blasting stuff
And all the other stuff I know.
Yeah, what the hell?
and mirror image. What the?
All right,
Anyway,
all right, artificers are fucking wizard junior. Oh my god.
balance.
Oh, heavy armor and all of this.
Arcane armor. Beginning at 3rd level, your metallurgic pursuits have led you to making armor a conduit for your magic. As an action, you could turn a suit of armor you are wearing into arcane armor, provided you have smith's tools in hand, which you will. You gain the following benefits while wearing this armor. If the armor is normally has a strength requirement, the arcane armor lacks this requirement for you. That's amazing.
Whoa.
So you can just dump strength and still wear strength armor. So we still wear plate armor. You can use the arcane armor as a spellcasting focus. All right, that's a
Fuck
free
yeah.
hand. That's a free hand right there. The armor attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. Okay. It also expands to cover your entire body, although you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus section.
Yeah.
It's like fucking electric helmet popping in and out. The armor replaces any missing limbs. Wow, functioning identically to a body part is replacing. Okay, cool. You can doff or don the armor as an action. Also really cool.
Also really good, actually.
Huh. I really like this because that especially that strength requirement one. That is actually so important that you could just pump all your points into constitution and intelligence, and you have no need for dexterity or strength whatsoever.
Yep.
Normally you have to get to 15 strength. No need for this one. That'll save you. All right. 3rd level armor model. Beginning at 3rd level, you can customize your arcane armor. When you do so, choose one of the following armor models: Guardian or Infiltrator. The model you choose give you special benefits while you wear it. Each model includes a special weapon. When you attack with that weapon, you can add your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dexterity to the attack and damage rolls. Okay. You can change the armor's model whenever you finish a short or long rest, provided you have smith tools. All right, Guardian. You design your armor to be in the front line of conflict. It has the following features: Thunder Gauntlets. Each of the armor's gauntlets count as a simple melee weapon while you aren't holding anything in it, and it deals 1d8 thunder damage on a hit. A creature hit by the gauntlet has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you until the start of the next time. Wow, Taunt Gauntlets. As the armor magically emits tauntlets as a distracting pulse when the creature attacks someone else. Okay. Defensive field. As a bonus action, you can gain temporary hit points equal to your level in this class, replacing any temporary hit points you already have. You lose these temporary HP hit points if you doff the armor. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Wow. And you get them all back on a long rest. That's just free HP whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like a number. But like you're not using your bonus action for anything right now. That's pretty good. Let's see if Infiltrator is as good. You customize your armor for subtle undertakings. It has the following features: Lightning Launcher. A gem-like node appears on one of your armored fists or on the chest, your choice. It counts as a simple ranged weapon with a normal range of 90 feet and a long range of 300 feet. And it deals 1d6 lightning damage on it. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. All right. Powered steps. Your walking speed is increased by 5 feet. All right. Dampening field. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks. If the armor normally imposes a disadvantage on such checks, the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other as normal. Okay. You can make your plate armor be neutral, stealthy.
Sneaky plate armor.
I was almost hoping you'd still have advantage even with plate.
I was hoping that too.
I gotta say, I think I like the defensive field one, the guardian one, just because you're just effectively a artificer with more HP. If you're gonna be someone that blasts, guardian is just gonna be better. I don't think lightning launcher is that useful when you can just cantrip.
It's not. It really, really isn't, and it doesn't. Well, maybe eventually it scales, but it scales poorly, if I recall. Oh no, that's not totally true, but because technically you do get extra attack at 5th level, but even so, it's still not.
Okay. It's only once on each of your turns when you hit a creature that.
Yeah, that you get the extra 1d6, so it's like not even that doesn't scale that well.
No.
The one caveat, and I guess it doesn't matter too much, but like Thunder Gauntlets are not that great either, in my opinion. Here's my question.
That's why I didn't mention them. I mentioned defensive field.
Yeah. It's cool that this has a taunt. Do you want to be taunting people as a artificer? This is worth discussing because
your HP.
You have a hit die, which is on the weaker side.
Yeah, you have not a good hit die for it. You could potentially boost your AC to pretty damn high levels, though.
True.
Mm-hmm. You're also a shield with a shield and plate, and then and you make each of those +1, so that's 22.
Oh.
Artificers do not get shield.
Tragic. The spell.
You could take the magic initiate feat.
I mean, you can also wield a shield, and that's just 20 base AC without any other modifications.
That's what I just said.
And you're an artificer also, so you can basically make both of those things magical, which is a 22 AC.
That's what I just said.
Okay. I wasn't listening, I guess.
Oh my god.
No,
you said both the things I literally said 10 seconds before that.
Oops.
You were looking up whether or not this had shield.
Yes, I was. Sorry.
I even did the calculations, like 22 and all that.
I think it eventually goes up to 24. So like you can avoid
off my brain.
You can avoid being hit as an artificer, but it is risky. I don't think you're the best tank. But even if
you also might not be the best DPSer despite these blasting abilities, which means if your party, for instance, is very powerful, maybe you should take a few hits for them.
Honestly,
but it's something you don't have to do.
I mean, to be honest, it's okay. So that's the thing, right? Is that your point exactly right there about not having to do it is I think that's the key thing. Is like you're not durable enough to main tank. You're durable enough to take a couple of hits.
Yeah.
And those couple of hits might be important.
Yeah. You're an off tank.
Yeah.
You're gonna absorb some damage to your team just by being within range. So enemies will just miss a whole bunch of attacks on you.
And like the thing is,
it doesn't matter if you take too much damage.
It would suck if your only features were to be able to just like eat a couple more hits. But the fact of the matter is, you actually do get blasting spells. So if you don't want a Thunder Gauntlet, you can just cast like Magic Missile or some shit like that.
All right. Well,
I'm back. Sorry, Philip just opened my door and waltzed into my room.
Philip.
This fucking cat, man.
That's
He normally
amazing.
doesn't do that during the day when people are home because he's busy like vibing in the living
That
room.
sandwich was good.
It was really good.
Fuck, that was great.
Okay, so at fifth level, nothing too special. You get extra attack.
Yep.
Yeah, probably not going to be too useful, but it could be. Armor modifications. At 9th level, you learn how to use your artificer infusions to specially modify your arcane armor. that armor now counts as separate items for the purpose of your infused items feature. Armor, the chest piece, boots, helmet, and the armor special weapon. Wow. So you can just upgrade each of your pieces, maybe. Each of those items can bear one of your infusions, and the infusions transfer over if you change your armor's model with the armor model feature. In addition, the maximum number of items you can infuse at once increases by 2. But those extra items must be part of your arcane armor. Can you make all those have +1 AC?
No.
No. Is that not an infusion?
Because it's not. Well, the infusion is to the armor, aka the chest piece, right? There's no +2 boots that exist in the video game. In the video game. In 5e, yeah. Okay. So because there's no such thing as +2 boots and helmet.
But you can make winged boots, helmet of telepathy.
Yep.
Hat of disguise.
That's cool.
That is the purpose, exactly.
Is this good?
We'd have to look at the infusions again.
Nah.
You get this at 9th level. So
that is a level where you probably can max out your attunements and stuff.
So let's see.
With some downtime.
So you can turn your hat into a cap of water breathing. So I'm assuming that you can do this, right? You can turn it into a cap of water breathing, presumably a goggles of night. I think that would not be too contentious. Boots of the elven kind.
Those are good for stealthiness.
Can you? Sorry, I assume so as well. But now I'm double thinking. Like, is there a difference between those and infusions?
Attunements and infusions.
Those are infusions, right?
These are replicate magic items using this infusion. I guess so. I guess you're good.
Yeah, it's an infusion. It'd be really funny if you could turn your chest piece into an alchemy jug.
No, I don't think that's how that works. That's my issue. But we'll go with it. I assume you can. I might look it up, but yeah. Because the other ones are like you touch an armor piece and it gains this feature. These ones are you create the armor piece, right? The ones above it, the custom ones.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I always thought it was you touch a non-magical object and you turn them into the object, but I guess not. So it'd be like Helm of Awareness, enhanced weapon. Obviously, you could do enhanced defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that you've already been doing enhanced defense on your.
Yeah.
Boots of the Winding Path, armor of tools, armor of magical strength. This lets you head into strength checks and saving throws. That might actually be pretty useful.
Maybe.
At 14th, you would probably be doing the propulsion armor? ? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like that good of a feature, but it's fun and useful, I guess.
Also note that the Archivist doesn't get a 9th level feature. I think that's because it's on Arthurcana.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was level 9. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just no 9th level feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, should I read the last one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Perfected armor at 15th level. Your arcane armor gains additional benefits based on its model as shown below. Guardian, when a huge or smaller creature you can see ends its turn within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to magically force the creature to make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC, pulling the creature up to 30 feet towards you to an unoccupied space. If you pull the creature to a space within 5 feet of you, you can make a melee weapon attack against it as a part of this reaction. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses of it.
That is hilarious.
Wow. It has to end its turn, so it's not like, oh no, he's gonna attack my ally, I'll go protect them and bring them. No, he's beating the shit out of your ally, then you bring him over. I bet there's definitely uses for this. I don't know. Infiltrator, any creature that takes lightning damage from your lightning launcher glimmers with magical light until the start of your next turn. The glimmering creature sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls against you. As the light jolts it, if it attacks you, in addition, that was confusing. As the light jolts it if it attacks you. In addition, the next attack roll against it has advantage, and if the attack hits, the target takes an additional 1d6 light damage. God, this is a sucky 15th level feature to be labeled perfected armor.
Yeah. Perfect. 1d6 more damage.
Disadvantage against you on all attack rolls, not just one at least.
But you're only using this on people that are far away that probably weren't going to attack you anyway. It's a ranged attack.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it is kind of funny because it is at this stage in the game cycle that I think they have finally realized how aggro like essentially works in like D&D, because these are aggro control mechanics.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, like, obviously, because it is funny that Guardian, it has to end its turn within 30 feet of you. Like, that's a really weird, kind of funny requirement, and it probably should just be, like, enters or is within 30 feet of you. Like,
yeah. You're not helping them this turn, but you're helping them next turn. You're helping their ally next
so
turn.
you can peel off of other people, but, like, it takes, it's like Final Fantasy when you, like, provoke somebody that's already, like, heading over to somebody.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think we have to rank it, because while I don't like that 15th level feature, I think early game they are nuts.
Oh yeah, I think
and their spell list is ridiculous.
I would say you're easily like very, very, very strong until 9th level at least.
Yeah, and
then you get greater invisibility at 13th level. Man, God.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Sorry, I'm updating. Maybe you established it already. I think most people at least have been interpreting it as even the magic items that you create, you can probably infuse them into the armor. So things like winged boots and boots of speed.
Nice. I'm glad you looked it up.
It's not super definitive, but everyone seems to be going with it at least. So
yeah,
it is nice to have winged boots built into your armor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Boots, bracers of defense. Is that more AC?
I thought bracers of defense couldn't be used while you're armored.
Yeah, exactly. Bracers of defense is +2 AC if you're not wearing armor.
Oh, there's no
Ring of protection and cloak of protection can be worn.
True. Nice. But you don't have to infuse those into. You can't infuse those into the armor.
Those.
Yeah.
But you might do so.
Man, I mean, listen, you know that I would.
You just make an AC stacking monster.
It's absolutely disgusting how you can get it. Yes.
and you're pretty happy with, like, you might never get like that much stronger spells, but you have lightning bolt and hypnotic pattern and wall of force. You're pretty happy.
As far as a half caster goes, you are already the best half caster.
Yeah.
I have to like retool, because I'm like, I keep thinking like, yeah, you're all right. Why wouldn't you just play wizard? But nope, that's not what we're changing. It's like, how would you happy in this artificer compared to the others? It's like way more. I'm
gonna be pretty satisfied. I'm not gonna be feeling like, oh, I wish I had other spells.
I would say you'd be pretty satisfied with the spell list as any half caster. Period.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be happy with the spell list as a cleric. I'd be thrilled.
So what should we rank this as?
Man, I feel like boy,
cautiously A.
I think so. Like it really just feels like that, right? Like it's like missing a little something that would push it into S.
Maybe, but like it is only in comparison to other artificers, and it is clearly the best artificer by a long way.
Yes, easily.
Yeah, I think this might eventually. I'm okay with A for now, but I am tempted to do S, and I think there's a very real possibility we'll have to shunt it up.
Honestly,
later.
like if you just consider it on its face, compared to every other artificer, you get heavy armor proficiency, right? That's one. You get the ability to soak a couple of hits for some teammates. That's pretty good. And you get the most nuts spell list that any artificer would want, right? Like, I feel like I'm okay with tentatively putting it in A. It feels like in comparison to other classes, it does lack a little, like, something that will push it into S. But
because base artificers.
Yeah, but maybe compared to other artificers, it really just is an
It
S
might
tier
it might just be S because of that. Oh.
Maybe we should just start it with S then.
We'll
put
start
it
it in
in
S.
S.
Well, we can move it down if the
Yeah.
other things are like particularly impressive.
I have a feeling that none of the other artificers are going to be as good.
I kind of agree. I'm gonna put this trash away and then we can continue.
Okay.
Okay. Let me open up the next one.
I can't believe that we're not gonna finish this today. Because we actually have to go at like 3 or 3:30 at the latest.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. Where are you going?
Oh boy. Oh no, I can't tell you until Josh gets back because they have to be here to.
Oh
Do
my.
you think they remember? You'll fucking laugh when you hear it because it's so absurd.
No.
I can just say we are going to a wedding in Final Fantasy.
What?
I shit you not. It's the funniest.
Like a fake wedding or like a people's real wedding that they decided to have in Final Fantasy?
No clue, but I assume the latter.
Okay.
You might ask how we know these people. We ran into them and emoted them a bunch in a major city. And they were in a wedding
invited you to
dress.
their wedding?
They were in a wedding dress, so she was like, "When's the wedding?" And then they traded us invites.
That's
They were 4 p.m. on a Sunday. I was like,
okay.
dress code. The colors are white and
Dress
pink. We're like, all
formal.
right, let's go get our outfits together. We go. It was the funniest thing.
Oh, are we talking about the wedding?
Yeah, I was saying that we're probably not
why
going
you
to
have to
finish
go?
this because we have to fucking go to a wedding.
What time is that thing?
4 p.m.
Oh, we can.
And you have to like be there at 4 or you can't get in. So you actually have to get there early.
That's funny. Okay.
well,
Artillerists.
Yeah.
Did you have some
Artillerist.
comments?
Nope. Nothing at all. I was just about
Okay.
to say artillerist as well.
Proficiency with wood carver's tools. Lol. Okay.
Great. It's very odd.
For an artillerist, yes, I guess so. I mean, I guess because the artillery you're making is like a ballista. No, not
Wait,
really, actually. Okay.
Arrows?
Your artillerist spell list is Shield, Thunderwave, Scorching Ray, Shatter, Fireball.
Yes.
That's your
No.
class. That's your class. Wind Wall, Ice Storm, Wall of Fire, Cone of Cold, Wall of Force.
Ah, shit.
Fuck.
I don't think this is as good as the last spell list, to be honest, actually.
Really?
Okay, it does have Wall of Force, but the thing is,
The other one did too.
You're replacing Hypnotic Pattern with Wind Wall. You're replacing Lightning Bolt with Fireball. They both get Shatter and like a Thunder Wave. This one gets Shield.
This one gets Shield.
This one gets shield. Wall of Fire is good. I think the other one also had Wall of Force, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, so
Yes?
they
Yes.
both had Wall of Force. So this is Cone of Cold instead of Passwell,
the-
which is an
the other-
upgrade.
Well, this one also loses Greater
You also-
Invisibility.
Yeah.
True.
Greater
They're
invisibility.
pretty equal.
Yeah, actually, these
Yeah.
spell lists are pretty on par.
Agreed.
Okay. At third level, you've learned how to create a magical cannon. Using woodcarver's tools or smith's tools, you can take an action to magically create a small or tiny eldritch cannon. Okay. In an
Oh,
unoccupied
this better be
space,
good.
on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you, a small eldritch cannon occupies its space, and a tiny one can be held in one hand. Once you create a cannon, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest or until you expend a spell slot to create one. You can have... Oh, I fell. You can only have one cannon at a time, and you cannot create one while your cannon is present. A tiny cannon. I mean, yeah, the difference is it's a placeable cannon or a hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
The cannon is a magical object, regardless of size. The cannon has an AC of 18 and a number of hit points equal to 5 times your Artificer level. It is immune to poison and psychic damage. If it is forced to make an ability check or saving throw, treat all its ability scores as 10, which is a +0. If the mending spell is cast on it, it regains 2d6 hit points. It disappears if it is reduced to 0 hit points or after 1 hour. You can dismiss it early as an action. When you create the cannon, you can determine its appearance and whether it has legs. Okay.
Oh.
You can decide which type it is, choosing from the options on the Eldritch Cannon's table. On each of your turns, you can take a bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you are within 60 feet of it. As part of the same bonus action, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb up to 15 feet to an unoccupied space, provided it has legs. So I guess you would always have it have legs, right?
Good. It's funnier that way as well.
It is funnier that way. Torbjörn, hard at Vark. Flamethrower.
The tiny cannon with legs.
Oh
This
my
is totally
God.
Torbjorn, though. You're right.
The cannon excels fire in an adjacent 15-foot cone that you designate. Each creature in that area must make a dex save against your spell save DC, taking 2d8 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. Or hydrating.
I gotta get a drink.
I already have a drink, always.
Okay. Force Ballista. Make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon at one creature or object within 120 feet of it. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 force damage, and if the target is a creature, it is pushed up to 5 feet away from the cannon. And Protector. The cannon emits a burst of positive energy that grants itself and to each creature of your choice within 10 feet of it a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier. 10 feet.
10 feet, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's not. Would you? I guess so.
Which one are we on?
The Protector.
We're reading the
Cannon.
different kinds. The Force Ballista is a 2d8 damage, and then the Protector is the cannon and also creatures within 10 feet of it gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier.
So you once per turn as a bonus action, or really just every turn on a bonus action, you can make your cannon fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not activate. It's not use your bonus action once, and it's going to be on automated forever, right?
Correct.
Just to be clear.
You can take
Okay.
a bonus action, and it will do this if you're close
Yeah,
by.
That's a great use of your bonus action, honestly.
It's honestly like
That's
2d8
strong.
damage as your bonus action is like
Nine damage.
it's fairly good.
You're like doubling your damage at these levels, if
Yeah.
not more. More than
1d8
that,
plus your
actually.
intelligence modifier hit points every turn as a bonus action also seems really good.
In terms of for your whole party.
Like at third level, right? That is like probably a third of your hit points. Or more.
Damn.
I don't want to credit this with whole party because each creature within 10 feet of the cannon. I'm willing to
Basically,
go
like the three of you.
I would say
two
you
or
probably
three of you
get
tops,
yeah,
yeah.
2 or 3 people.
I do not consider this whole party, but that is really good, especially at
you
low
are-
level.
Unless you're first on initiative, then it's your whole party.
Well, that's yeah. Well, I mean, my question is, don't you just like do this at the start of a rest?
Yeah. As well.
and then you all
Yeah,
just start with
actually,
it? Question?
that's true.
Is there a limit to how many times you can manifest these?
You can manifest the cannon once, and then any time after that, you have to use a spell slot.
Wait, but how long does it last?
Yeah, what's the duration?
A cannon lasts 1 hour.
Okay, so you're not doing it at the
Okay.
unless you want to spend a
No.
spell slot for this, but you're really not. Okay. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't.
you'll
I'm
get-
pretty. Yeah, I mean, you could feasibly pre-buff with it because those temporary
What
hit
kind of
points I
spell
don't think
slot?
disappear.
What kind of
Any
spell
spell
slot
slot.
again? Oh, well, that's like effectively saying, do I want to spend a first level spell slot later to cast an upgraded aid on my whole party?
Pretty much.
'Cause aid's only 3 people.
yeah, but it's also not temp HP. It's better
Yeah,
than temp
okay.
HP.
yeah, but you
like,
can stack it with
for-
temp HP also.
In most cases, this is.
Yeah, you might.
Just
I
better
think
than
you
aid.
probably.
I think it's worth it.
Aid. Okay, aid is
It might
also
be.
a second level spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. I always forget that.
I mean, 1d8 plus int. That's on average about double what aid does.
I think that's actually a really good use of a spell slot.
I mean,
think it's really efficient.
It's so good.
It's
Because
so.
it's not like the temporary hit points disappear when the cannon disappears.
No, as far as I can tell, they stay with you. It's
Yeah, like at third level, that's like your entire party has 50% more
Yeah.
health at the start of the
It's
day.
definitely not what they intended for it to be used as,
No.
but like
yeah.
So that's
as
what we're gonna
written,
use
that
it
is how
as.
it works.
The one level spell slot it doesn't scale. Really, since you get capped on int pretty hard. So I guess later
Yeah.
game you lose quite a bit of value on that, especially very late game. But early game, that's actually so good.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, I would say that's easily relevant for a very long time, and even at later levels, like 9 extra hit points, like you'll take that. That's like almost a level's
Yeah.
worth of hit points.
so this basically
Depending on your class, it is a level's worth of hit points.
is like you're gonna use your first free use at the start of the day, and then every use after is I want to spend a first level spell slot to cast Sacred Weapon. I mean, this thing, Force Ballista.
Yeah, and
Like-
I would say they might also upgrade as we
Is that
go
what it's
on.
called? Is that what the cleric thing's
Force
called? Sacred
Ballista.
Weapon.
Sacred Weapon, yeah.
What is Sacred Weapon damage?
It's 1d8 plus your spellcasting mod.
Mm-hmm.
And these are
Force Ballista is 2d8.
a lot longer range.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually
So they're
really
about the same
comparable
damage.
because I would say it's really comparable because 4.5 versus like 4 to 5 is 4.5,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just a longer range Sacred Weapon that lasts an hour instead of a minute.
Yeah.
And both of them are not concentration.
Mhm.
This one, however, can be destroyed, but also like if they're gonna waste their attacks on it because it has 18 AC and like 5 times your level.
5 times your Artificer level.
Oh,
and
that's
hit
not very.
points.
That's not very much hit points at level 3. That's 15 HP. I mean, it's enough, I guess.
Yeah, but that's also 15 HP that like
Not going towards
that
you.
is not going to your party, which is actually a relevant number of hit points at that level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Like, if we're looking at artificers by DPS, this is the highest DPS artificer, certainly up to level 5, like up to level.
Okay, you'll be very glad to know that at 5th level, you can use your Arcane Firearm, which is just something that you can make now, as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells. When you cast an Artificer spell through the firearm, roll a d8, and you gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equal to the number rolled.
Huh. So you could make your fireball hit harder.
So your fireball does 1d8 extra damage.
That's 4.5 extra damage. That's 32.5 instead of 28. It's not
Your
that big of a difference, but
Your shatter at this level, but yeah,
Oh, you're right.
It's
You do not have-
It's actually more relevant on Shatter.
it's more relevant on
Yeah,
shatter.
that's 33% more damage on shatter.
but yeah, you do not have fireball at 5th
No,
level,
you're right.
unfortunately.
I just instinctively thought they did.
I know.
5th level.
Yep. But I mean, presumably that also applies to cantrips. So your cantrips just do an extra d8 damage.
I guess so.
There's nothing stopping you from just constantly carrying your like tiny little cannon, right?
No.
Like
Not really.
just
It
thinking.
only lasts an hour though.
No, I meant like in combat. Like you could just like speed isn't an issue if you just carry it around with you, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm so confused. Can they still hit it if you're carrying it? Probably.
Probably.
I guess it still gets hit by AoEs. It's funny that we never think about the fact that under normal circumstances, none of your gear like catches fire and breaks when you get fireball.
Yeah.
But this Eldritch Cannon that's in your hand, I think will.
I mean, it's actually an explicit thing that they say. Every spell that has a flame component says ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And but does this take damage from that? Probably, even if you're carrying it.
Yeah, I think because it counts as a creature
Yeah.
or a magical object.
Yep.
Like, it is one of those things that is like really kind of like you shouldn't think about it really too hard. But like, if this is like the theory of if it has hit points, it can die.
Yes, exactly. That's what I wanted to get at.
If it bleeds.
Exactly. So.
If it has legs, it can sit on your shoulder like a parrot.
Oh my god, can you imagine a parrot, just a mechanical parrot? You're a mechanical pirate and you have a mechanical parrot on your shoulder. It opens its mouth and just a force ballista bolt comes out. That sounds
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
This is a great character concept.
I love that. But yeah, this is a high DPS artificer, like way more than anything else we've
Yeah.
seen.
At 9th level, your cannon's damage rolls
yes, it
all
is
increase
more.
by 1d8.
Yeah, never mind.
As an action, you can command the cannon to detonate if you are within 60 feet of it. Doing so destroys the cannon and
Wow.
forces each creature within 20 feet of it to make a dex save against your spell save DC, taking 3d8 force damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
Wow.
This is this is nothing. This is like if the encounter is
Yep.
over.
Yeah, please don't use this feature. Please fireball them instead.
But I will reinforce that, like, level 1 through 4, this artificer does more than double the average damage of any other artificer.
I was gonna bring up specifically level 5 because armor gets extra attack. Um,
But
so
level
that
1
would,
through 4.
but level 1 through 4, you're right.
More than double damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna be very happy level 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
So for armor, okay.
That's like for a lot of people, that's most of their campaign.
So I have a question.
Is it the second sentence of the armor model that answers it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I was wondering about that.
I knew that was going to be the question.
Were you just wondering if they could attack with
Int.
within? Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And at 15th level, you are master at forming well-defended emplacements using Eldritch Cannon. You and your allies have half cover while within 10 feet of a cannon you create with Eldritch Cannon as a result of a shimmering field of magical protection that the cannon emits. I like that they wrote that in there so that they can justify the tiny cannon providing you with cover.
Oh, it's that Borderlands one character.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. I never played Borderlands 1, but I know he had a, yeah.
You can now have 2 cannons at the same time. You can create 2 with the same action, but not the same spell slot. And you can activate both of them with the same bonus action. You can determine whether the cannons are identical to each other or different. You can't create a 3rd cannon while you have 2.
Now this is proper scaling of like early game features. Just double it.
Just more.
double
Give
it.
More.
Bonus action.
Not like it's 1% more effective. No, double it.
Oh, sorry, never mind. The cannon's damage rolls are up by, so it's bonus action to do 6d8 damage to a target.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I like that.
That scales into the late game very well.
Yeah.
Level 1 through 14, even you're still good. You're still happy.
Do you think you could command both of them to explode with one action?
Kablooey.
Wait,
So they could fire and then explode in the same turn for 12d8?
It's not good damage, but yeah.
Okay.
It's not that great.
To answer your question, no. Because it takes an action to command it to detonate.
Command the cannon. Sadness. Oh well.
That's pretty funny, though.
Okay. So what should we rate this thing? Because obviously it doesn't have the durability or AC. Actually, it does have some HP at least, but
Is it at 15th level?
so does the Guardian.
Yeah, you also get
level,
10 HP from that.
Yeah.
This one gives your party temp HP though.
Yeah.
The
This helps
protector's
your party
the
more.
protector's also nice because it gives the cannon temporary HP.
Yeah, it's important.
But like, I feel like with this class, you're not going to be using the protector very much in combat.
Probably not. It's more like a pre-buff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You might do 1 protector, 1 force ballist. No, not at 15th level. By then the amount is way less.
Take the damage.
Yeah, agreed. Does that to hit?
Is this the first real minion class? Depends on your definition.
Yeah, there was some decent. The Strixhaven stuff was the Strixhaven stuff was pretty minion-y at times.
Besides, there's also like animal companions from Rangers.
Well, that's the joke is that one's not a real.
It's
the
very
joke.
much not real.
That's
Not a real minion.
Just because they're undertuned doesn't mean they're not real.
They're not real. They cannot hurt you.
I am having a hard time figuring out.
They may try to hurt you, but they cannot.
I'm having a hard time rating this versus armor because they kind of do. Armor feels clunkier, but but more flexible.
Well,
I mean, this one is just pure damage.
It's just pure DPS, and so whereas armor does other things, but it depends on what items you create. And this one can create magic items too, so it shouldn't even.
From my perspective, I am more than happy to just put this in S tier also.
well,
but
it might be. But let's take a closer look. This one's AC is going to be medium armor plus a shield, which does mean they actually have to get their dexterity up to like 14.
True.
The other one doesn't have to give a shit about their dexterity or strength, which is nice. So that's a little bit of stats. But how much AC is that again? Is it 17?
It maxes at 17 because plate.
So then shield is 19.
Yep.
So then this class is gonna have 19 AC plus the shield cantrip or shield first level spell. So that's pretty comparable.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the thing is,
the
thing that's nice about Artificers is that, like, you can really stack, like, can really stack items. Like all artificers at base have medium armor, which is
Yeah.
Dan, also, this one can still, as far as I know, infuse its armor to be +1 and the shield to be
That's
+1.
true.
Correct.
So, to be honest, armor only has a +1 AC advantage on it.
In many ways, this might just be directly better than Armorer.
That's my question.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm just reevaluating, because if we ignore the turret entirely, obviously that's the huge feature part of this class. They're pretty similar. They're both big blasters at 9th level. They're both small blasters at 5th level, and they're both beefy. And I think of comparable levels of beefiness, I think maybe Guardian armor is slightly beefier, but Artificer makes your party beefier.
Yes.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's
I
like
think-
yeah, it's like pretty comparable
Yeah.
levels of AC, but like armor has like a jacked
Yeah.
AC, whereas Artificer or Artillerist
Yeah.
has also beef, which is HP.
Yeah. So when I'm looking at it, if you take the turret away from Artillerist, I think they're on about the same power level. So I think Artillerist is a lot better.
There is one case, and this is the only thing that armor has above it, basically, essentially, is 2 more infusions. And so you have to evaluate how the power level of those 2 infusions, which is the hard part.
2 infusions and a little bit of quality of life with armor and stuff, versus the turret, which is obviously amazing.
Yeah, I do think armor is probably A tier if this is S tier.
Yeah, I think it's a tier difference for
That's
sure.
probably no, I'm okay with that.
Wow, I'm surprised.
I
we
am
go.
too. The only reason, and hot take, the only reason that happened, well, no, there's a few reasons, obviously. However, the only reason that we're able to do that comparison is because their spell lists we evaluate them as pretty much the same.
similar.
If Artillerist had a crappy spell list like the other ones, this would have been way harder, and they probably would have both been like S tier.
Take away Fireball, and they're both the same tier.
Yeah,
Right,
straight
exactly.
up. Take away Fireball and Wall of Force and Cone,
Oh, God,
yeah. It's amazing the tier list difference in spells.
That's because some spells are just overtuned as fuck.
Well, then that's the other thing. The other amazing thing is just how absolute shit tier the Alchemist and Archivist spell lists were.
All right.
Wow.
Battlesmith. You gain proficiency with Smith's tools and your. Wow. Hey, Lashoy. What's up?
Hey.
Thanks for the raid. I'm assuming that you guys just finished raiding for the day. How'd it go? Anything exciting happen? So you get heroism, shield, always nice. Branding smite, warding bond.
Does anyone know what warding bond does off the top of their head?
No.
Yeah, you basically make a bond with one other person, and you share damage and get like 1 AC or something.
That sounds
Yeah,
sounds
while
right.
the targets
Yeah.
are within 60 feet of you, it gains +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, and has resistance to all damage. But every time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. So
Spent an hour reclaiming P5
It's
and
not
P6.
concentration.
Got to your proc point P7. Nice. Good job.
And you each have to wear platinum rings worth 50 gold each that are not consumed, though.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
funny.
I do remember this one. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
It's a funny spell, but it's not that powerful.
Okay. You also get Aura of Vitality. Conjure
Yeah.
Barrage. Is that a ranger spell?
Yeah, and you basically, I think it's like conjuring some arrows and shit. It's like, oh, it's a 60-foot. Every creature within a 60-foot cone must make a dexterity save. Or take
3d8
3d8.
damage.
That's a 3rd level spell.
Oof.
It's no fireball.
It's no fireball.
That's
Man.
half
what
the
kind-
damage of a fireball.
Yeah, wait, how much?
Good job.
8? Yeah.
Good luck
It's
with Harvest
13.5 as opposed to
Prog.
28. It's slightly less than half the damage of a fireball. But bigger radius, I guess. Harder to place without hitting your allies, though. Oh gosh,
Yep.
this is bad.
Aura of Purity, Fire Shield, Banishing Smite, and Mass Cure Wounds. Man,
You'll take Mass Cure Wounds, I guess.
you'll take Mass Cure Wounds and Shield. But everything else is just
Yeah.
a
Not much
little
else.
bit not good.
True. Not much else.
Okay, so you get proficiency with martial weapons, and when you attack with a magic weapon, you can use your int mod instead of strength or dexterity for the attack and damage rolls. Let's see. Great way to. Yeah, warding bond. So warding bond. You both take half the damage. Like you're sharing the damage, but like it's just not really that useful in most circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You make a good point there. one whole damage point.
One damage mitigation. Let's go.
Oh baby.
Let's fucking go.
Oh baby, those odd numbers. Yeah.
Game in the system.
This is like that. It's like that bullshit with like monk
Yeah.
rotations where there's just like if your frame rate is too low, you miss out on one GCD.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's. It's not if it's too low. It's if it's not a certain.
If it's
multiple.
not at a certain point. Anyway, putting that aside, let's see. By third level, your tinkering has borne you a faithful companion, a steel defender. It obeys your commands. You determine the creature's appearance, whether it has 2 legs or 4. Your choice has no effect on its game statistics. In combat, it shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use reactions on its own turn, but the only action it can take is dodge unless you use your bonus action to command it. The action can be one in its stat block or some other action. If you are incapacitated, it can take any action of your choice. Blah 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 blah. If the mending spell is cast, it regains hit points. You can use your smith's tools as an action to revive it, provided you are within 5 feet of it, and you expend a spell slot of first level or higher. The steel defender returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. Okay.
There's a bit more health than the turret.
At the end of the long rest, you can create a new steel defender if you have the smith's tools with you, etc., etc. This is just so you can remake it.
Minion class 2.
It has 15 AC. Artificer seems like the class that is going to have a lot of minion subclasses.
Mm-hmm.
The Artificer, the Artillerist had 18 AC? I don't remember, actually.
I think it had 18 AC, yeah. So this one has 15 AC and has 2 plus your int mod plus 5 times your Artificer level hit points. It's got a bunch of the normal statistics for minions, Dex plus proficiency bonus, Con plus proficiency bonus. So it's proficient in Dexterity and Constitution saving throws. 2 very good saving throws. And the things that it can do are Force Empowered Rend. Wow, that's a really metal name. Your spell attack modifier to hit, one target you can see, 1d8 plus proficiency bonus force damage. That's pretty standard for minions. The magical mechanisms inside the defender can restore 2d8 plus proficiency bonus hit points to itself or one construct or object within 5 feet of it 3 times per day. Cool.
Ooh, reactions.
And then the reaction is the defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see that is within 5 feet of it, provided the attack roll is against a creature other than the defender. So yeah, you just pop it next to you and you use it to take less attacks.
Can it move around?
It has a speed.
It has a speed of 40 feet, so it can actually move better.
Good. The repairing is not very useful, huh? It's just mechanical stuff.
No, the repairing would only be useful if you had more construct classes, right? Like if you had cannons, if you had a cannon artillerist artificer, and then maybe like another battlesmith artificer.
Yeah,
right?
this
Like
thing
it's
is
best if
attacking-
you build a
this
whole
thing is-
construct party.
This thing can attack out this bonus action, right?
No, it still takes an action to do Force Empowered Rend, it looks like.
Well, I meant your
No.
bonus
It takes
action.
your bonus action.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so that's still like level. This is very. This is a lot
It's very
better than some of the other ones.
standard.
Like stated before. Like stated before, this is like double damage 1 through 4.
It is. It's up there.
Minion classes are always nuts until level 5.
This
True.
one feels much more vulnerable to me.
Does it?
Because it is bigger. You can't hold it in your hand. It has a lower AC, but it does have int mod more hit points.
I
Plus
think
1.
okay, but also the thing is like
It has less AC.
And yeah,
It has
15
more HP. It has more HP.
Yeah, did I say less HP? I meant more HP. It has int mod more HP than the other one, but has
No,
3
2
less.
plus int mod more HP.
goes down
Isn't-
pretty fast. Yeah, I mean the thing is
The other
that
one was just 5 times your artificer level, I think.
Oh, I thought it was 1 plus your artificer level. I could be wrong about that.
No, artillerist. Okay, let's take a look.
It's 1 HP difference. I'll go with the lesser one because it doesn't change the argument. The point being, and then the big one
5 times
and this-
equal to your artificer level. It's actually
The big-
really comparable.
the big one that I would like it's just a flat damage bonus, although admittedly minus 3 AC. This might not matter in every case, but the big one is that this only comes back on a long rest. You can summon the cannon as one action for the cost of a single spell slot. So once this dies, I believe, unless I'm missing something, yeah, long rest only, right? Oh, no. If you decide within the last hour, you can use an action to revive it. Forget it. Everything. Forget everything I was saying.
Okay.
It does return to life after 1 minute, so it's not
And
like
it doesn't.
you can
And it doesn't
combat
require.
res it.
And it doesn't. But it doesn't require spell slots to bring it back. You just
It
have
does.
it all the time.
It does.
It does.
If it's died within the last hour, you can use your Smith's tools as an action to revive it, provided you're within 5 feet of it and you expend a spell slot to do it. Okay.
So it is. Yeah, it's basically.
All right, then actually, yeah, it's very comparable. I take back what I was saying.
Yeah, so it's like very. It is a little bit. I think it's a little bit more finicky than the cannons, but it's also more permanent than the cannons. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is much more like just having another party member. Like obviously the
nice.
amount of hit points that it has is like not the best. Because it only has, really potentially up to 7 more hit points than a cannon, and you can summon the cannon much more frequently. But it can also heal itself, to be fair.
Yes, that's true.
And it's
Takes
like,
an action, but yeah.
And they kind of take different roles. Because like with an 18 AC, it's a little bit on the higher end for just like a regular minion. Whereas this one, because it has 15 AC, it's almost more likely to be hit because of that, which is kind of what you want. Like, whereas the artillerist is like, I will say that I think that the artillery cannons are broadly speaking more useful because you can summon more of them.
They have long range attacks.
Right.
Okay, well, then something more of them is
that
like
that
level
comes
15.
later. Yeah, we're
Full
still on.
15. You can't talk about that.
Yeah, we're still on the level 3 feature. Maybe
Yeah,
you can
but
summon two.
the thing is, I'm pretty sure that you can summon a cannon as an action with the spell slot, right?
Yeah, but you can only have one out at a time.
Yeah, but okay, so consider the situation in which your cannon is broken. You use your action to summon another cannon. Once you summon your Steel Defender, like if your Steel Defender dies, there's
true.
not a lot you can do to it.
You go over to it and spend one action to fix it. We talked about this. That's why I retracted my statement.
Oh, so that's the same.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, but no, this one is spend a bonus action to get your artillery back, and this one is spend an action to get it.
Oh, true. Wait,
That
does
is
it?
fairly?
It only takes a bonus action to summon the artillery?
Yes.
Oh god, this
maybe.
is such a
I think
pain.
it takes an action. Yeah, it takes an action to magically create the cannon.
Yeah, you take an action to magically create.
We forgot to talk about that, but yeah, you can
so-
pre-buff it, but you do have to pre-buff it.
I have a question actually.
That's a slight.
This is like a really relevant question.
It is nice that this one starts out.
If your Steel Defender drops to 0 hit points, does it die?
Yes.
Well, does it die or does it start? I mean, I guess it doesn't make death saves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it gets death saves? I don't think so.
Okay, well, if it has died within the last hour, you can use your Smith's tools as an action to revive it, provided you are within 5 feet of it and you expend a spell slot at first level or higher. You're clear on that.
Oh.
The Steel Defender returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored.
God, I read it wrong again. I have to take back my take back. My reading comprehension's terrible today. Oh no. Yeah, so you're really only gonna have one per fight is the key bit there.
Now, that being said,
Usually that's
to be
all.
fair, they also do fulfill different roles.
This one, you think this one's less DPS oriented? What
Yes.
roles? What were the 2 roles? Yeah, this one is like a bit of a meat shield.
This one is literally a meat shield that sits there and deflects attacks from you.
I think that's fair. That does comparable damage.
The other one is pretty much equally as tanky though. It just doesn't deflect attacks.
It just doesn't deflect
Yes.
attacks. Which,
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
I mean, it depends obviously on how useful that is going to be.
Okay,
but hey,
but
more hit points on the field, always good.
honestly, I think the way you're using this one is sending it in with your melees and having it deflect attacks for them while you stay back.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, because like look, it has melee attacks. If it sits on the back line, it does nothing.
Oh, I did want to bring up because it was mentioned to chat. Can it do attacks of opportunity? I if
All
it
things
if it
can.
if it says in the description that it only takes the dodge action unless you use a bonus action to command it to take another action, I think it can't do attacks of opportunity.
Oh.
That's how I would read that. The only action it takes on its turn is the on its turn.
I
Oh
would
no! Oh no! It can move and use its reaction on its own. Maybe it can.
Yeah, I was say I think it can take
Yeah.
attacks over. I think
think
that's
you're-
actually fairly standard for
minions?
minions like this. Because attacks of opportunity are one of the things that can make a body like this more useful.
Because it says it can use its reaction on its own. I think it can.
Yes. It can move and use its reaction on its own. Yeah.
5th level extra attack. We go.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, it has to. It has to be able to do that so that it can also do this.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be possible otherwise, right?
That's the reason that line is in there. Agreed. But
it also means that it can.
it also
attack
allows it
without
to.
attacks of opportunity.
Agreed.
Yes. Okay, at 5th level you get extra attack. Cool. I mean, honestly, at 5th level that's still fine. Like at 5th level, if you're you're on a 1d8 hit die, it is definitely lower. But like with a martial weapon and intelligence for your attack and damage rolls, like it is better to be melee attacking than cantripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be up there in danger? I guess so.
Well,
I think
yeah,
it's.
you
I think it's
probably
not.
do.
I would say I think it's really not that relevant at lower levels, right? Like the difference between a D8 and a D10 hit die is not that relevant until you start getting a couple more levels, right?
I'm more thinking it's probably good for you to be up there, so then so that you do eat a few hits for your team.
Yeah, you can eat a few hits. Your boy can eat a few hits.
I'm a coward at heart, so I'm always torn. But yeah. You can ranged attack though, right? You're proficient with all martial weapons. You could longbow this shit.
Are you proficient with all martial weapons?
Or was it only?
Yeah, you're actually
think
proficient
so.
with all martial
There
weapons.
you go.
You know what? You're right, actually. All right, this is just longbowing.
Oh, that's totally what you do, actually.
There you go.
It's a very funny concept of just intelligence longbowing. Like, I am so
Intelligence
smart.
longbowing, and then you're sending your mechanical minion in to help out your melees. That's another party member. That's actually pretty strong.
You're a summoner. This is playing a summoner. Get him, Ifrit.
Oh,
Hey, get him, Bob. Pulls out guns.
Hey, Bob, get in there.
Guns.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is Ash Overwatch.
it's Ash. Oh my
It is.
god.
Fuck.
It
It's
really
word
is.
for word, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good actually so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's
has-
not gonna be bad.
It has a shit tier spell list, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, but also Artificer spell list in general. Just
I know.
The
All
Artificer
right.
in game uses a whip for reach, so they can also get attacks of opportunity. Oh my god.
Great.
I mean, hey, one-handed weapons are really good for Artificers because you can wear shields, and that's actually pretty relevant for you since you're a little squishier.
Ooh,
At
true.
9th level, you've learned new ways to channel arcane energy to harm or heal. When you either hit a target with a magic weapon attack, or your steel defender hits a target, you can channel magical energy through the strike to create one of the following effects. The target takes 2d6 extra force damage. Okay. Choose one creature or object you can see within 30 feet of the target. Healing energy flows into the chosen recipient, restoring 2d6 hit points to it. Can use this a number of times equal to int mod, but no more than once per turn, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So it's a little extra damage for you or your boy, or some healing if that's relevant. I mean, it can be relevant, right? 2d6 healing, basically for free, just means you can attack and then also get somebody who is down up.
Yes. And it doesn't even eat your bonus action. It's part of your attack.
Yeah. So honestly, if you didn't even want to use your bonus action to command your mech to attack, like that means you still have your bonus action for whatever reason.
I mean, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's very flexible, which is nice.
The damage is it good? Feels a little
2d6
under
extra force damage once per turn. It's like
the you'd probably want to save a few because of int modifier and healing. But your pet attacks not on your turn, right? It goes right after you, and it has
Yes.
does it have a separate turn technically?
Technically, yes.
Okay, so in the span of your one turn, which is technically 2 turns, you can trigger Arcane Jolt twice, right?
Oh, that's true.
Because you attack and you Arcane Jolt, and then your pet attacks, and it also can do Arcane Jolt because it's not on the same turn. So
Yeah.
it gets around the no more than once a turn thing.
Although to be fair, you can only use it a number of times equal to int mod. But like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
okay. To be clear though, that is actually still better because you really want to dump these a lot faster than like you would be able to if you could only do it once per like round, right?
It gives you the option of burst, is what you're saying.
Correct. Which is always nice. So basically, like, 35 points of healing or damage per day. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, you would probably, use a couple to just do some extra damage, and then you would probably save one in case you needed to heal someone on the fly. Is it the most impactful ability? Not really.
It's at 9th level, but I'd say it's all right. I like the healing a lot, actually. That seems like it. I'd call that niche. All right, Dan, do you have some numbers on the brain?
Let's see. I haven't really thought about it. Honestly, let's see. An additional 7 damage. Is that we're just talking Arcane Jolt?
Arcane Jolt.
7 damage or 7 healing. Just whenever you or your buddy hits.
The one.
I mean, that is nice. That like you don't need healing word. I'll just attack, and then you miss, and then just oops.
Yep. It doesn't have to hit, right? Oh no, it does have to hit.
It does have to hit, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
one of you will hit.
Listen, you get 3
surely.
attempts.
Yeah, you
3
get some.
attempts.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Odds are it's gonna
Odds
hit.
are-
If you missed 3 times, it'd be really sad.
Oh
And they
god,
die.
Like,
I'm
you'd have
getting
bigger problems, I think, than the healing.
I'm getting
Yeah.
flashbacks to me dying because of 2 or 3 failed medicine checks in a row.
Yep.
Oh,
Yup.
oh god,
Hey,
it can happen.
I had like a +2 or something to that, so it was above average.
You had a -2.
What?
Yeah. you,
I had a
Yeah, I think you were
okay.
really bad at medicine, actually.
you were playing Daisy. You had a minus modifier to that.
Oh, what did I then?
Oops.
Well, still 3 attempts.
Okay, and then at 15th level, your Arcane Jolt and Steel Defender become more powerful. The extra damage and healing of your Arcane Jolt both increase to 4d6 instead of 2d6. Your Steel Defender gains a +2 bonus to armor class, and whenever your Steel Defender uses its deflect attack, the attacker takes force damage equal to 1d4 plus your intelligence modifier.
The third one is cute but very unimpactful at 15, in my opinion.
I agree. It's
the
a
second-
little extra damage for free, basically.
Extremely.
The second one is solid. I'll take +2 AC on my pet.
So
It's a little late though,
that
isn't
much.
it?
This-
Yeah, it's a little late.
So at lower levels, I think Battlesmith is really good. I think it doesn't scale super well
Kind of falls off.
because the problem is the being able to attack with your intelligence is very nice. Being able to attack with your being able to attack twice is really nice. Obviously, having just the kind of basic extra damage of your minion is also nice. But I think that probably what is a longbow? It's like 1d. Is it 1d8?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like 4.5 plus the 9.5 is 18.5. Like you're at the very least going to hit a point where it might be more impactful to just cantrip. Although, like obviously, you can activate your
Really?
other class features.
Extra.
4d10 versus
well,
extra
actually,
attack.
probably
Well, the
not.
thing is, you don't get to apply Arcane Jolt on your cantrips.
Yeah, that's
True.
true. You can probably actually carry your class features all the way through, which is interesting.
Your,
I
I
feel like
think
that's
your
not
longbow is
normally-
always going to be good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you could of course make your longbow magical.
Yes.
Technically.
I was about to ask how, and then I remembered what base class we were
easily.
rating.
Yes. It's a weird class.
So
Yeah.
weird.
What's funny is this all in all, this basically amounts to almost identical to Beastmaster Ranger in almost every way, except for just slightly better in some other ways. Like, you get some other bonus damage and healing features, you get some magic items and stuff.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of feel like this is what you want Rangers to be like?
Yeah, I don't think it's like it's astoundingly better than Beastmaster, but it is just better in every way by a bit.
I don't know what barding does.
I think it's just extra AC.
Is it more AC?
What barding is putting armor on your horse.
Animals with no armor proficiency can wear barding with no penalty, which implies to me that you can use barding on it. Is it an animal though?
I mean, I think that'll depend, but I do think that's not the most. I don't think it's the most difficult thing to convince your group of. To be fair, like I think it logically kind of follows, doesn't it?
I don't. It's so fuck. I guess. Wait, hold on. I guess they did say explicitly this thing can have 4 legs.
It can have 4. You can have a mechanical horse. You can put barding on your mechanical horse.
Oh my god! I don't know if I want to factor that too heavily into the power rating, but I'd love that so much.
We don't generally include items in the power rankings. Like they don't have really any effect because it's impossible to know what kind of items you'll have access to. It's funny because Artificer is a weird special case where you actually have very explicit access to certain items.
Holy shit, that's expensive. I have an idea of where I want to rate this, but I don't know if people will agree.
I do too.
What do you think?
My thought is B. But I'm torn. But I would put it in B solely, and this hurts me, because of the spell list is worse than Armorer.
Yeah, I was actually thinking this either A or B. A, if it wasn't for the spell list, this would be about power level A.
Yeah.
Because it's strong early game, and that's about all you really need. But the thing is, it just doesn't get blaster spells or interesting spells or Wall of Force or Hypnotic Pattern. So
I think this probably my problem is I think aside from the spell list, I think this might be almost stronger than Armor.
It might be, yeah, I think so, because Armor doesn't get a minion.
Because it doesn't.
Armor does get very good AC for level 1 through 4, but
it gets very good AC and really good spells.
By sheer coincidence, I also think it's B.
Like Armor gets Shatter at level 5. Like, there's power level. I don't know. Yeah, I think B.
B for Battlesmith.
Okay.
It fits.
We've got S for Sartillerist or Artillerist. A for armor. B for Battlesmith. C for Alchemist. And then D for Archivisted.
Archived.
Archived. You wish you could put Warding Bond your defender some other. Oh, that would be nice.
Hey, look at the starting letter of the next one we're rating.
Oh, baby. It's 4 to death. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, this is an Exploring Eberron. You carry on ancient traditions, creating mystical weapons and armor. Okay, you gain proficiency with smith's tools. Neat. Your spell list is Armor of Agathis.
Oh,
Shield of Faith. Spiritual Weapon.
That's good.
Warding Bond. Beacon of Hope. Remove Curse. Death Ward. Fire Shield. Banishing Smite. And Wall of Force.
Wall of Force, nice. But there are a lot of misses there. But like you're pretty sad to get Shield of Faith as opposed to just Shield.
Yeah. Ugh. Shield of Faith. What a trap spell.
I love any that has Wall of Force.
Yeah. It's not like the fact that you don't have shield means you're probably going to end up using Shield of Faith, but like maybe.
What else are you concentrating on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, luckily for you, Spiritual Weapon does not require. Yeah. Oh, it was Spiritual Weapon, wasn't it?
Spiritual. I said.
You were saying Sacred Weapon. I was like, that sounds not right. I'm like, but
I'm
I
like
don't
asking
remember.
you guys, like, is this the name? And you're like, yes. And I'm like, all right.
God. Oh.
Okay, but Spiritual Weapon is like
weird day
a discount artillerist turret. It's not quite as good, but it's pretty good.
It's a good spell.
It's a great spell, yeah. You're very happy with that.
It's a spell instead of a class feature.
You're very happy with that. You are not happy that you don't get any sort of good 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Beacon of Hope is shit unless you have someone to synergize with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with martial weapons, and you can use your int mod instead of strength or dex for the attack and damage rolls. Man, they're really going hard on the like the battle
thing.
mage like Gish sort of like archetype.
They
like
do.
it.
But
What
I
ranger
also
arguably should
I
have.
was I also think that given that this class came out and these subclasses came out far after the rest of them, they did a way better job of making it like worthy of using weapons.
I think my favorite thing is that the armor doesn't get proficiency with martial weapons. Your only choice is to punch with your power armor.
Wow. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen, they gave you the power armor for a reason.
They did.
So at 3rd level, you learn to imbue a weapon with a fraction of your spirit. The Dakani Dashors call this weapon the Gal Sharat, goblin for mighty blade. Cool. Imbuing your Gal Sharat works like infusing an item, but does not count towards your maximum number of infused items. When you finish
my own Gal Sharat.
When you finish a long rest, you can touch a magic or non-magical simple or martial melee weapon, which becomes your Gal Sharat. So you can do this with magic weapons, which is pretty... Ooh, I can't wait. Once imbued, your Gal Sharat is a magic weapon that grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, unless the base weapon you imbued already grants a higher bonus. This bonus increases when you reach certain levels in this class, increasing to +2 at 8th level and +3 at 13th level. If the imbued if the weapon you imbued has the thrown property, it returns to your hand immediately after it's used to make a ranged attack. Your Gal Sharat benefits remain until the weapon is destroyed or until you use this ability to imbue a new item of the power, blah, 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 blah. Other creatures cannot benefit from your Gal Sharat's powers, and to them it functions as the unimbued weapon did. Okay, so you cannot turn a +1 weapon into a +2 weapon with this.
Someday, wizards, I want you to stop being cowards.
But
and I want you to let these effects stack.
you can turn a flame tongue into a +1 flame tongue.
Yo! Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Turn flame tongue into a +3 flame tongue eventually.
Oh, yeah.
We go.
That's awesome.
That's pretty
Making
nice.
your flame tongue upgrade, that's fucking nuts, actually.
You can't craft a flame tongue, right?
I don't think so.
You might?
There's
I bet
no
they don't
way.
let you.
There's no way they would let you. That's like way too.
I think it's a very rare. I think it's a very rare item.
They let you craft very rare items, +2 items. Oh, +2 items are very rare, right? No, +3 ones.
Depends. It depends. +3 AC is legendary. +3 weapon is very rare.
Okay.
AC is always harder to get.
So just in 5e, magic items are kind of like they're just like singular objects that if you were to able to do anything, they would like overwrite essentially, right? Most effects that affect weapons, for instance, do not affect magic weapons. They only apply to non-magical weapons.
Warlocks, a lot of class features, several classes have subclasses that are like your weapon becomes a magical +1 weapon. There's a spell that makes it a +1 weapon. You know, warlocks get a thing that makes it a +2 weapon. None of those ever stack if the item already is magical and has a
Correct.
+1 or +2 benefit. They don't let them stack. Someday, though.
Artificers actually can't make any weapons.
Oh. What? Enhanced weapon. Okay.
Well, other than enhanced weapon, but that's not a magic weapon.
Yep.
Like they can't
Okay.
they can't replicate magic weapons.
Got you. Thank you. Okay. No fun allowed.
They originally intended for magic items to be more rare and special and balance the game around the party not having magic items. I would say that is true, but also not, because like the problem is that and I think they've somewhat realized this by now. They designed a lot of the creatures in the game to have resistances to non-magical weapons. And it's clear that they had some inkling that they wanted different materials in like non-magical weapons, so like stuff like mithril, silver, or adamantite, or whatever, adamantine. Those enemies have significantly less HP for their CR. I guess I haven't really paid attention to that, but you might be right about that. But yeah, it's also just like when you don't give your party magic items, the ones that suffer the most are your martial classes, which sucks because martials already suck.
Yeah.
Sucks to be a martial. Anyway, fifth
You
level you
love
gain
martial
extra.
classes. Don't lie.
You always play them
I
anyway.
fucking love them.
You play nothing but martial classes.
Yeah. What's your point?
Anyway.
Bias.
I can say that martial classes are not as good as spellcasters. That is not going to stop me from only really playing martial classes.
There are some caveats attached to that, but we're not going to discuss them because
Like
they get
single
extra
target.
attack at 5th level.
Yes. Plenty of people come to Pathfinder 2e saying casters suck there. Yeah, well, I mean, because they're used to whatever this is, right?
I feel that a little bit right now in Pathfinder.
You can't end encounters in one turn. Oh, boo-hoo.
I want my fun spells.
How very sad for you. You gain the ability to enhance your weapons of your squad, targeting the damage to the weakness of your enemies. As an action, you can activate an aura that extends from you in a 30-foot radius. The aura moves with you, centered on you, and lasts for 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you were casting a spell. When you activate this aura, choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Each creature of your choice in the aura deals an extra 1d4 damage of the chosen type when it hits with a weapon attack. You can use this feature a number of times equal to int mod and regain all expended uses after a long rest. 1d4 damage aura for you and your party. I mean, that's not bad, actually.
Wait.
Ninth level of the chosen type when they hit with a weapon attack. So it only affects your other weapon users.
Correct.
So there's like 3 of you maybe.
Yep.
This is the same as that enlarge reduce thing, except for
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
except for an aura, and you get it at 9th level, not earlier.
And it's concentration. It's
And
your
it's an action to activate, not a pre-buff.
And it's your
Oh, that's pretty
concentration.
rough.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I don't like this very much.
It's not worth using.
I really, really don't like this. Okay.
Fair enough. At 15th level, you learn how to imbue your Galsharat with additional power and how to draw on it in time of need. The first time you attack with your Galsharat on your turn, you can transfer some or all of its bonus to your armor class instead of the bonus on any attacks that turn. For every one you reduce your attack and damage rolls by, you gain +1 to AC. As long as you continue holding your Galsharat, the AC bonus remains in effect until the start of your next turn. That's the effect of the legendary Defender Sword.
I know. I always hated that because it was just felt annoying and clunky.
Additionally, whenever you
Especially
finish
because you have to do it on the first attack, so you can't just like save your last attack.
yeah. Additionally, when you finish a long rest, you can select one of the following benefits until you finish your next long rest. You gain the selected benefit whenever you're holding a Galsharat. Resistance to psychic damage, and you cannot be charmed or frightened. You use your Galsharat to channel the elements. When you select this ability, select one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. When you hit with your Galsharat, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the chosen type. Okay.
I'd hardly call this a perfect weapon.
So you said about the armor one.
Yeah.
We have some different definitions of perfect.
1d6 damage. That's it. If you don't use that weird armor swapping feature, which a lot of people just won't, because they want to hit things. They don't want to miss. Literally, it's your weapon does 1d6 more damage. It's perfect. It's the best weapon ever.
My God. That's not a lot. Or alternatively, it's actually kind of tragic.
Perfect weapon.
I guess it would.
Perfect weapon.
Just reminds me of when we were in Limsa and that Lalafell band was playing Creep.
Good.
Oh my God, we have both Trists in chat now.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh God.
God, this is resistance to psychic is niche and mostly unhelpful. Can't be charmed or frightened. Can be good. I would also call it niche. But you have to choose that over.
I would say you would take 1d6 extra damage.
Most of the time, you'll probably take the 1d6 more damage for attack. At least you attack twice. This is a 15th level.
At 15th level, right? Let's assume the best case scenario is probably you have a flame tongue, and how far can you infuse them? Can you infuse them to +2 or +3?
You can't infuse a flame tongue. Wait, you mean from Galsharat? +3, right?
Okay, Galshrat is +3. So it's a +3 Flame Tongue. And you can do 1d4 extra damage plus 1d6 extra damage, which is just a very annoying set of dice to add.
Why would
That's
they do this?
2.5 plus 3.5 is 6 extra damage. So that's 12 extra damage a turn. Yeah, I don't think that's super good, actually.
That's yeah.
I really
Well,
don't
you
think
don't have
that's
Fireball, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's better than what you could do otherwise, but what you could do otherwise isn't very good.
A flame. I mean, we could total it up. A flame. Anyway, a flame tongue is 2d.
+7. So it's 7 plus 6, 13, plus your stat, which is 18, plus the weapon damage type. If you were using a greatsword, it would be another 7. It's like 25. So you do like 50 damage a turn at 15th level. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
You'd like to do that a little bit earlier if you were a weapon user.
Dan, as an avid AC lover, I do want to say
You're just gonna dump the AC every turn.
you're an artificer. You already have an absurd AC because you've imbued your shield and your AC. Maybe just fuck hitting. Maybe just -3 to your hits, and you just have
just cantrips or whatever.
Let's see. You
suck it up and hope.
Just listen. If you don't hit, at the very least, you know. What's your AC? 17 plus 4, 21.
But
you get,
but
24
the
AC.
But the thing is, you can't use cantrips or whatever because you have to attack to use the AC bonus.
I know. That's why I said you just miss. Just eat it.
God, the annoying. That's so annoying.
Let's go.
It's so annoying that you can't just like have your weapon set to 3 AC and then change it to like swap it back and forth. You know. The fact that you have to constantly like attack to actually get that AC.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That does kind of suck.
That's the point.
Yeah, but that means you're spending your action. Let me put it this way: if you're spending your action missing every turn, you might as well like say, "Hey guys, I'll see you guys next week," and just walk out of the room. Like you're not useful.
So that is the problem with having high AC on a class that is not necessarily the most impactful to be alive, right?
You're not doing anything.
It is a little sad that if you want to choose to do something else, like cast Wall of Force, you do in fact lose 3 AC in that turn that you do that.
Oh my God,
that's really funny.
Yeah, it's actually worse.
God, this class would be so clunky to play.
It really
like there's so many tiny like piddly bonuses and they sort of add up, but oh man, it would be a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like 50-ish damage a turn at like 22-ish AC is good, but it's like,
well, how does it stack? Well, now we've completed the subclass. How does that stack up against other artificers? Because this one gets versus the other artificers. This one gets, if you concentrate on it, mind you, 1d4 from that. You get 1d6 way late at level 15. What do they get early? What does this one get early again? Oh, you get the +3. You get a magic, yeah.
You gain proficiency in martial weapons,
and you can melee.
He's int.
You're really just like, I mean, you're very much like, it's funny because you're technically speaking mostly on par with a fighter, aside from the fact that you don't have extra attack. Or action surge, rather. Sorry. At least the 1d4 is for your whole group.
It's for your whole group, but it still gets your concentration, and it takes it takes an action to activate.
I will say the biggest problem with Runes of War is that it's like just such a pain in the ass to use. It only lasts for 1 minute. It's concentration, 1d4 damage. It's like fine, it's whatever. But like, you have to use an action to use it.
You're not even attacking that turn. You're probably it's probably better for your overall DPS in the party to not even use that feature ever.
Like the thing
Unless
about
you get pre-buff.
the thing about the Unearthed Arcana Artificer on the wizard list that gave out potions, those things lasted for an hour without any concentration, which is what made them better because it was basically a functionally permanent 1d4. But this is like conditional, and like the conditions are pretty stark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like... Do you know what this feels like? It feels like the problem with this class is that the numbers are not terrible, but it's like you have to do a lot of finicky stuff, and then at the end of the day, like, most of what you're doing is auto-attacking.
Yep. But like,
Well, pull up the list. Let's rate this. We could feasibly finish this if we're fast.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know.
See?
I think.
well,
No, I think it's better than
I
C.
think I don't think it's better than C.
I don't think it's better than Battlesmith.
I don't think it's better than Battlesmith. Probably not.
C.
I think it's Alchemist level.
Yeah,
You
I
think it's
so
Alchemist
too.
level?
Yeah. I think you're overstating the value of auto attacking when all the other alchemists, all the other whatever the fuck artificers can also just auto attack.
Yeah, they've got autos. Theirs do a little less, but then they have turrets, and then they have armor, and then they have
Yeah, you're
actually
probably
good
right,
spells. Yeah, it's C tier. All right.
Yeah. You have
See-
everything synergizing together to be a little worse than other classes of their job. Yeah, that feels a lot like playing Bard a lot of the time. So, Master
Please don't have a lot of
Maker.
reading. Please.
Integrating flesh and steel. Okay, so you're a cyborg artificer. You gain proficiency with heavy heavy armor and smith's tools. If you blah 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 blah. Cool. Heavy armor proficiency is always good. You gain access to absorb elements. Pretty good. Thunderous smite, enhance ability, lesser restoration. Blinding smite, haste. Freedom of movement, stone shape, banishing smite, and greater restoration. This is a weird spell list.
I do like haste. I do like absorb elements.
Yeah.
Most of the other ones
I don't really like haste that much.
are niche or not really usable. Anyway,
I always think
Yeah.
haste is really more for the amusement value than it is for the practical like number value.
I mean, this is the class. This is the class to be someone who casts haste. Like you're not doing that.
Yeah,
much.
you're not doing
Yeah.
much else, right?
it's a good use of your concentration on this class.
Yeah, and
so
you have
whenever you
proficiency.
Oh,
in
wait.
con-
Oh,
you have
hold on.
proficiency in con saves already. So
oh, all artificers get haste.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, never mind.
what?
Yeah,
Why would they put it here?
Well, they do that with all of them.
they do that with
I
a lot
ju-
of spells.
We're just not as familiar with Artificer sub
Yeah.
spell lists. We've just sort of been assuming that it's not
But, like,
there. But yeah.
but
no, we
almost
just
all of them-
sometimes we just
okay,
look for like
lem-
we
limit.
only look if the spells are like good, right?
Well, let
Yeah.
me put this way. Almost all the spells we've seen on all these lists have been not on the artificial. Like
I've seen a
magic
couple that
missile,
have been.
thunder wave, absorb element, shield of fate. Like
True.
which ones have been?
I'd have to look through them, but I
Yeah,
recognize
see,
a couple.
I think like fucking 90% of them have been not on the list.
But we don't have time, so because they already have haste, this is a pretty underwhelming spell list. What is prosthesis
horrible.
expertise?
Okay. You can touch a non-magical object and imbue it with power, creating a permanent magical item that replaces a lost limb. While the prosthetic is attached, it functions identically to the. Oh, this is just the prosthetics.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
There's no
That's the
mechanics.
ribbon.
It's just you make a prosthetic. That's cool.
Okay, cool.
At third level, you replace one of your arms with a battle fist. Do you chop it off?
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Uh,
Wait,
A
what happens to
magical
your- wait, wait. Is there a requirement that we missed that you have to like? You know what? We're just not gonna. All right, let's just assume yes. Okay.
All right, enjoy your shower. Okay, anyway, your Battle Fist is a simple melee weapon, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus, while your Battle Fist is a magical weapon. It can be infused as if it were a non-magical weapon. Cool. When you attack with your Battle Fist, it uses your intelligence modifier instead of strength for the attack roll. If you hit with it, you deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d10 plus your strength or intelligence modifier. Oh, hey, wait. I know it's not like it's not like that much more amazing than just being able to wield a martial weapon, but
Wait,
this is a one-handed
It
weapon
scales at ninth
that is
level.
1d10 plus your int mod.
and you can use a
Read the next
shield.
bit. Read
You
the
can use a
next bit.
shield.
Yeah, at 9th level, damage increases to 2d10. Okay,
That's
you can.
some scaling.
All right. Additionally, you can choose one of the following properties to add to your Battle Fist: finesse, throne, or reach.
Reach? One-handed reach weapon?
One-handed reach weapon. When you finish a long rest, you can
With
replace this
shield?
property with a different weapon property from the list.
Huh.
Okay.
Awesome.
At 5th level,
but
this fucking
back.
rules.
It might have thrown, but it doesn't come back, does it?
I think it's part of
what?
your hand, so it
Wait,
must
how
come
does-
back.
Does it have a fucking spring? Boing.
But it doesn't say.
It doesn't say. Yeah,
If it
you
doesn't
probably
say, it
just
doesn't
shoot it
come
out
back.
and you have to go retrieve it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Is there an infusion?
Frankie Fist
Is there an infusion that anyway, keep going. I'll
gives it
Yeah,
the
you can look
returning
that up.
property.
Imp-
But like
so
just
you
giving
get-
it reach is great.
Yeah, I was
Reach
like,
so good.
5th level you gain extra attack, and at 9th level you gain you can apply 2 infusions to your battle. Oh, I think actually one of the infusions must be returning, right?
I hope so.
I'm sure. I
um,
think
Let's see. Returning weapon. A simple or martial weapon with the thrown property.
Let's
yeah.
go.
And does
Okay.
does it return right after you attack or at the end of your turn?
Right after.
Good.
So suddenly it's a ranged weapon.
And that is good damage.
Raubon! That's true. They should give Raubon a mecha fist.
This isn't. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. You can apply 2 infusions to it at the same time. Cool. If both infusions grant bonuses to your attack roll or armor class, you can only gain the greater bonus. Makes sense. Your battle fist is also a shield.
Oh, that might be
Oh.
a problem. Wait.
You can wield
Can
it as
you-
a weapon even if you are using it as a shield. You can infuse it
Okay.
as if it were both a simple melee weapon and a shield.
Ah, so you can infuse it with AC and attack rolls.
Ooh.
The maximum number of items you can infuse at once increases by 1, but the
Okay.
extra infusion must be applied to your battle fist.
Ooh,
Makes sense.
yes.
I gotta say that shield part, largely, they could have just not put that there and the power level would have been the same. Because before this, you were just holding a shield.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
true.
But now you can
Although-
dual wield.
But now the shield is part of your body.
I guess. But like, I'm pretty sure your fist, you could still. Yeah, it was a spellcasting focus. There's no downside to just holding a shield anyway. So.
Oh well, okay. Actually, no. Sean makes a good point. Now you can use a weapon in your offhand.
Yeah, now you can
Wow.
dual wield with a shield.
I guess so, and if you give your battle fist the finesse property,
Yeah.
then you can use your other weapon won't use int,
You're
and
right.
you won't apply any damage to it, and you'll do 1d6 damage plus 0 with your short sword that if you manage to hit.
Oh, it's not good, but it's funny that you can
I mean,
do
to
it.
be
That is
fair,
funny.
like if you didn't want to cast any spells, you could just dump in and only take dex.
Oh, that would be awful. Let's not. Anyway.
This spell list is pretty awful.
It's really horrific.
Like what would you
No.
lose, right? Because if you turn your battle fist into a finesse weapon.
No, I don't. It's not worth it. Like
You would lose the throne property, which
you're
makes
doing all of that just to make your 1d6 short sword offhand at level 9 plus have a slightly increased chance to hit.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's not worth
To be fair.
dumping int.
fair enough. Okay, at 15th level, you have become nearly impervious to the weaknesses of the flesh. You gain resistance to poison and psychic damage, and you are immune to the poisoned
Nice.
condition. If you
Nice.
are affected by a spell or magical effect, you can consider yourself a construct instead of your other creature types. Interesting. What would that do for you?
That is so complicated because it depends on the spell. But there are some spells that don't work on constructs.
And you can choose to still be a human to be healed or whatever.
Yeah,
Humanoid.
but yeah.
And you can
I
cast
don't know.
Anti-Life Shell and Investiture of Stone. I'll have to look at these. Without expending a
Investiture-
spell slot, without preparing a
Investiture
spell,
stone gives stone flesh or whatever.
without material components, provided you use your Battle Fist as the spellcasting focus. Once you cast either spell with this feature, you cannot do that again until you finish your long rest. Okay.
Investiture stone gives you stone flesh. The resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magic weapons for 10 minutes. It's concentration. Plus a few other things. It lets you do little mini.
You can knock
earthquake
people prone, and you can move across difficult terrain made of stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly just the resistance.
It's mostly just stone skin, actually.
What about
Yeah.
art? Yeah, it's fairly
Anti-Life
very-
Shell, 10-foot radius moves with you, centered on you, hedging out creatures other than undead and constructs. The barrier lasts the duration, prevents an affected creature from passing or reaching through. An affected creature can cast spells or make attacks with ranged or reach weapons through the barrier.
Huh.
If you move so that an affected creature is forced to pass through the barrier, the spell ends. So,
That one's niche.
living creatures cannot get within 10 feet of you.
Yes. This
good.
is actually a little annoying
Living.
because of that. Yeah. Yeah, this is anti-life. It's against the living. So it's
shit.
actually really good.
Holy shit.
Because they just, and it's particularly good because you can make your thing reach. So you just sit in the middle and attack outside, and nothing can approach you unless it can attack within 10 feet.
So you sit at 10 feet, you pop anti-life shell, and you just rocket fist people 10 feet away from you.
Or
guess
more,
it's a
actually,
spring-
you don't need.
spring
Hold
fist
on, why
beam.
are we saying range? You could just be like ranged attacking them at that point if you just give it thrown, you know. But that's yeah. Either way, it's actually a really good defensive
You can be
spell.
healed by the Steel Guardian. Wait, you're right.
Wait, what?
The
Repair. You could be repaired.
You can be repaired.
Oh.
You can be repaired by the Steel
If you have
Defender.
an artificer.
I actually
Another
think
artificer.
you can't. Isn't it sad? I think it says spell specifically.
Oh yeah.
Or
Spell
magical effect.
magical effect. Okay, all right.
I would consider that a magical effect. Hold on, I have
Maybe.
to look it
Sure.
up.
Up to your DM's discretion.
No, it's not. The magical mechanisms.
Oh, hi. Never mind. Fuck you, annoying DM. You're getting repaired.
Repair me harder, Steel Defender.
I like that requires you to have 2 artificers in the party.
I'm telling you, the Artificer party is real.
Oh, we did do the all wizard
So-
one.
The strange
Lord.
synergies that you can build in this party is
By that level,
unfucking
though,
real.
So not worth it.
It's not good.
It's not
That
even
that one's
remotely worth
that
it.
one's niche. The top one is decent, but I would call it niche. And I actually really like anti-life shell, but it won't always be useful. And it's only once per long rest.
But it's a
And
it's
it's
a 6th level spell, which you normally don't get access to.
And you don't normally get. So I'd call this decent just for anti-life shell. Is that reasonable? Am I missing something?
I mean,
Yeah.
you're
the
also
other-
immune
the-
to the poison condition. Resistance to poison and
Yeah.
psychic is not super relevant, but poison's common.
And you're gonna use Investigator's Stone as well. That's just resistance to damages and stuff. I mean, there are cases where you'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Well,
Also,
I'm always
like-
unhappy with concentration,
Also,
but yeah.
I have no idea how to gauge the power level of considering yourself a construct instead of your other creature types.
We're
But
hydrating.
I don't know, right? Because the only spell that I
Don't.
now know that affects that is anti-life shell.
I'm sure there's others. I don't think they're not niche enough for it to matter. I think they're
Yeah.
too niche for it to increase the power level.
I get
So,
it.
going fast, where does this go?
Well,
Boy.
if we look at this bluntly, it's literally just an auto attacker, right?
Yeah.
That does it do more or less damage than Forge Adept?
Okay, what was Forge Adept?
That's how you have to judge this.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay, so
All right.
Forge Adept is a martial weapon user. So let's say, would you want to consider it like one-handed with a shield, or would you consider two-handed?
Shield, definitely.
Okay, yeah, one hand with a shield. So the biggest weapon you can wield is 1d8 plus a shield, right?
Yeah.
So it would be 4.5 plus your int mod, which is 5, so 9.5. And then at what level would we consider?
Ideally, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 3rd level, it would be 10.5 for Forge Adept. And at 3rd level for Master Maker, it would be 5.5 plus, let's say, 5, so 10.5. It would be 10.5. So literally exactly the same number.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now
at
do-
9th level.
9th level, yes.
Okay. At 9th level, plus 2. So that's okay, fuck, putting out the calculator. I'm so bad at fucking mental math. Okay, 4.5
honest-
times 2, or I guess it's 4.5 plus 5 plus 2, times 2. So 23 damage for Forge Adept. And then
we can simplify this a little, in my opinion, in that because they'll both have +2. I think they can both have +2. One might have a +1 one.
So at 9th level, the
maybe.
Forge Adept
Oh.
does 2 more damage.
Okay.
Wait,
I think.
what?
Really?
Really,
I'll trust you.
even
Oh
from
no! Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. No, Master Maker does way the fuck more damage.
Yeah, because of the
32
extra-
versus 23.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I
they're both
forgot that it
auto
increases
attacking.
to 2d10.
And Master
Yeah.
Maker has an easier time attacking from
Yeah.
range.
One of them. Yeah. Well, they can. Yeah. They can both technically be ranged, but Master Maker will always do more damage on range than the other
Master
one. 'Cause you
Maker
have to-
it can also use a shield while attacking from range.
and it can use a shield. It gets basically what happens is Forge Adept gets essentially 1d4 more damage if they also spend an action the first turn.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
also
say-
if they maintain their concentration.
Ugh,
If
no.
if they did that, they would do 28 damage versus the unconditional 32.
Yeah, so as a result, yeah, even then they still don't beat it. So
And I guess the final thing to look at is spells. Just Master Maker has absorb elements. That's kind of it. Forge Adept has shield.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to remember Forge Adept has spiritual weapon going.
Spiritual weapon. Okay, that's true. Okay, so
That's-
spiritual
Shield
weapon is
of- yeah.
1d8
That's another-
plus int mod. So 4.
they get Wall of Force too.
And they can upcast spiritual, and they have Wall
Very
of
late.
Force.
It's very late though.
Armor Vagath has a Shield of Faith
Okay,
or
so
something.
that means because of spiritual weapon alone, Forge Adept is pretty much always on par. And they
Okay.
can push their damage a little bit over
Yeah.
if they use Runes of War, if they really want to.
Yeah.
But I think but if the
And
problem
they
is
get
if
Wall
we
of Force.
the problem is if we consider Runes of War, then we have to get into the calculations of giving up your first turn of combat, and I think that
No,
swings it
Runes
back
of War.
to
I think
Master
we've calculated that is only ever useful if you can precast it. But there are cases where you will precast it, and your party will be slightly happy.
Yeah, it helps your party too technically. Oh,
So,
did they?
it
I don't
doesn't
know. I
just
think they're
go against
very
yourself.
comparable.
They probably both go in C tier, huh? It just hurts me. You do get
Probably.
anti-life shell, but I think they probably do because you get
Anti-life shell versus Wall of Force.
Wall of Force, yeah.
All right, they're the same.
They're pretty much exactly the same.
Master Maker's way cooler though.
Oh,
is.
yes, 100%. All right, Maverick.
Last one.
In the world of Artifice, the Maverick is a jack of all trades and master of none. Cool. At 3rd level, you gain amazing
in C.
insight. What?
Drop it in C. We
The
go.
description.
GG.
The
Okay.
description.
Yeah, I
They
get
said
it. I get it. You gain amazing insight into spell effects beyond the reach of most artificers. Choose one of the following classes: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Paladin, Ranger,
no.
Sorcerer, Warlock,
No.
or Wizard. This class's spells
no.
become part of your breakthrough spell list. You can choose an additional class and add its spells to your breakthrough spell list at 5, 9, 13, 17. When you change your list of prepared artificer spells after a long rest, you can prepare an additional 1st level spell. This spell must be from your breakthrough spell list. When you reach certain levels, you increase the number of breakthrough spells, etc., etc., etc. You prepare an additional 2nd level spell at 5th level, 3rd level at 9th level. So you get one more prepared spell of every spell level that you get.
This is
Okay, but
this
all
is
other artificers got 10 spells, right? Two
Yes.
first, 2 seconds. So that's 10 spells. This one gets
5, right?
15.
Isn't exactly the no. Wait, what?
let me parse this.
No, don't you get one per thing that you would already get one?
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. This is
just
half,
5.
It's half. It's exactly half the number of prepared spells.
Yeah.
This is DIY half of an artificer
So
spell
it's
list.
half as many, but you get to choose them.
But you get to choose them, so it's straight up better.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I wasn't
So
sure.
you're
I was
gonna
like,
take
what the fuck?
you're gonna take
Sorry.
shield, something, fireball, something, wall of force.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe take a cleric spell. I don't know.
yeah, maybe. Honestly,
I don't
what's
think
funny
I don't
is-
think you need
as-
cleric spells.
Oh no,
What's
you
funny
take
is as good
spiritual
as
weapon.
this is. Oh yeah, spiritual weapon's a fantastic 2nd level one to take. As this is about as good as I would say the artillerist and the armor spell lists. I would say.
Agreed. Top
Agreed.
tier spell list.
Yep.
Cantrip specialist.
Go ahead.
You excel at producing minor magical effects and at abandoning your current projects to pursue new ideas. Mood. Starting at 3rd level, you gain the following benefits. You know 1 additional cantrip beyond what's normally allowed for an artificer of your level. When you finish a short rest, instead of when you gain a level in the class, you can replace 1 artificer cantrip you know with a cantrip from the artificer spell list or your breakthrough spell list. This cantrip is considered an artificer cantrip for you. So you finally you can take Toll the Dead. Great.
So you can take a Toll the Dead. Okay.
Starting
Whatever.
at 5th level. What?
Can you mix up? Did I misunderstand this? Do you only get 1 breakthrough class?
So you can
Choose
choose
one of the
an
following
additional
classes.
class and add its spells to your breakthrough spell list at
Perfect.
5, 9, 13,
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
That does mean no spiritual weapon, because you're
What?
probably taking wizard.
No, you can choose an additional class. You can. It looks like you can. You're not limited to the breakthrough class lists. Like you can choose a different class at each one. Am I wrong?
No, this spell must be from your breakthrough spell list. And up there it says this class's spells become part of your break.
Choose. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You can
Yep.
choose an additional class at each. Oh, I see. You're right.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
perfect. That's awesome.
right.
I like that.
So now you basically get access to every 1st to 5th level spell in the game, but only 1 at a time.
That's wild.
I like how they had that little add-on that like you lose your summon steed if you replaced your summon steed. You sneaky bastard trying to steal a spell.
Oh my
from
God,
Paladin.
summon Steve, you're right.
When you cast an Artificer cantrip, you gain a +1 bonus to attack rolls and to your Artificer spell save DC unless your spellcasting focus grants a higher bonus. Yeah,
Ugh.
that tracks. This bonus increases when you reach certain levels, increasing to +2 at 9th level and +3 at 15th. As an action, you can replace an Artificer cantrip you know with a different cantrip from the Artificer spell list or your breakthrough spell list. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it until you finish a long rest.
That feels
this is
awful.
this
Yeah.
sucks.
Aren't you just gonna have a magic item anyway?
Actually, no, not
Maybe
by
not.
5th level magical.
so- Yes. So the thing
Yeah.
about
It
the
only
thing,
benefits your cantrips.
it
Yeah.
only benefits your cantrips. But the magical spellcasting focus you make does not increase your spell save DC. But again, it's only for your cantrip, so it really I feel like this is like you're actually getting surprisingly little beyond the ability to cast some more spells, which is not really the strength of your class to begin with.
Well, anyway, that's this 5th level. Maybe they get stuff at 9th.
At 9th level, when you cast one of the spells you prepared with Arcane Breakthrough, you can do so as if the spell was cast using a spell slot 2 levels higher than the spell slot you expend. You can use this feature a number of times equal to int mod, and you regain all expended uses after you finish a long rest. Is that good?
Ooh, is there any spell that's really broken if you upcast it?
Okay, for an Artificer, it's a spiritual weapon, maybe?
Spiritual weapon does scale pretty well.
And it scales on the double level, which is important here.
I'd have to look at spiritual weapon, but like,
It gets 1d8 per 2 spell levels you upcast it, if I recall. So this
you
is
could-
a 2d8.
Yeah.
so this
plus
would be
each one.
a free 2d8, or if you cast it at
2 levels higher.
4th level spell, you'd be a 6th level spell. So it'd be 3d8.
Yes.
Oh, and
So
if you only have 3rd level spells, you can cast a 3rd level spell at 5th level anyway.
Yes,
Right?
I think so. Artificers at 9th level only have 3rd level spells, so they can cast
you'll
3rd
still
level
be able
spells
to-
at 5th level.
And you'll still be able to cast that 2nd level spiritual weapon at 4th level, which is exactly what you want.
Yes,
actually pretty good.
exactly. Yeah, so that's not
It's
For
an
an
bad.
additional
Artificer.
one. It's just an additional 1d8 damage per turn on your.
Yeah.
spiritual. I don't think it's that great. You're almost better once you get to your fireball levels. You're better off just doing
Yeah.
a bigger fireball.
This one scares me. I think we have to move on soon because we can't go through every spell. This one does scare me because maybe there's that 1 or 2 spells out there that are just like utterly broken when you upcast them. But I
Well,
can't
okay,
think of any
no,
off the top of my
I was
head.
like, the thing is,
You can use this a
we've
lot of
looked at the spell
times.
list a lot. We've
Yeah.
talked about upcasting a lot, and there's like very few spells that are actually really good at being upcast.
Yeah.
This is straight up. Your fireballs do 25% more damage.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
Yeah.
And
I
like
think you'll take that.
Yeah.
even at
you'll
9th
very
level.
you'll very happily take another 7 damage on your fireballs
Oh, it's every single one. My
at
God.
9th level, and you can use this up to 5 times.
Yeah, that's actually.
that's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I don't think it's broken, but I do
Oh
like
wait,
it a lot.
you got another feature at 9th
Oh.
level.
What?
It's not a very exciting one. As an action, you can
Ribbon.
replace any prepared Artificer spell you have with any other spell from the Artificer spell list, which then counts as a prepared spell for you. You can do that once per short rest.
Okay. They have the same idea with cantrips earlier.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Okay, and at 15th level, you gain 1 additional spell slot of each spell level you can prepare. These spell slots can only be used to cast the bonus spells granted by your arcane breakthroughs. Oh, that's clunky as hell. But to be fair, that's probably what you're going to be using them to cast anyway.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's all most of the spells you'll probably cast.
As you gain levels in this class and are able to prepare 5th level Artificer spells, you gain an additional spell slot of that level.
One additional spell slot of each level?
Okay, wait, hold on.
That's like 5 additional spell slots.
Yeah.
No, 4 at this level.
Wait, what
like,
is this last clause here?
Gain levels.
You don't get this at 5th level. You can't cast 5th level
Oh,
spells.
you can't cast
when you
5th
get this
level
feature.
spells. Ah, I see.
So it's just making it nice
It's
and
just
clear.
future-proofing it, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so 1 additional spell slot of each level for the spells that are relevant. Yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but also, like, those are the spells that are going to be relevant.
Sure. I don't think it's super
Until
strong, though.
9th
You're
level,
not lacking.
until 9th level, you can cast a couple extra spells that normally you wouldn't be able to cast, but depending on the Artificer subclass, to be honest, probably spells that they have access to.
Wait, what?
What are you
Prior
talking
to 9? What do you mean?
Okay, so with the arcane breakthroughs, right?
Yeah, you can cast spells that you don't have access to.
You can cast spells that you don't have access to. However, the spells that you are going to take, there's a decent chance that one of them is on one of the other Artificer subclasses.
True.
Considering 2 of them have pretty much like almost perfect spell lists.
Yeah, which means it won't rate higher than those, but it's going to rate a lot higher than the other ones, probably. Yeah, it's funny that all this one is a spell list.
We put it spell list. Artificer. We put its spell list on the same level as armor and artificer, and then that's kind of.
Now, I will say
superior
this.
breakthroughs.
It's a little better than them technically.
I will say this.
Slightly,
other than the fact that it gets access to some more spells, which is obviously very good, if you actually look at the other features it gets, they're very lackluster.
Yep.
Because they affect cantrips, which are not good, and they don't actually boost the damage of cantrips.
No. I only like superior breakthrough.
Yeah. Final breakthrough is not terrible, but yeah. The 9th and 15th level are probably the best ones aside from the feature that gives you.
I'm fairly certain that final breakthrough, just the only thing it really does is it gives you spell slots on par with what a full caster would have.
At that level.
At that level for those spell slot levels. So you're half of a full caster.
And then a bit more. God. Yeah, I've never actually been that overwhelmed with more spell slots most of the time. Nice to have more 4th levels, but other than that, more 5th levels as well, but So this is basically just a really good spell list.
Yep.
Plus the base Artificer.
Yep. I honestly.
Yep. I think that puts it in B.
I kind of agree.
You think so?
Well, I don't think it can be A.
Would you rather have this good spell list or the ability to auto attack better, like the C tier ones?
A better spell list.
I kind of agree. I would rather have powerful fireballs than auto attacking better. I think so.
I think it is more powerful. Let me put it that way. I mean, listen, I'm still looking at that Master Mech. I'm like, man, that would be fun. But in terms of power level, I think the better spell list is more powerful.
I think it's just at the end of the day, like auto attacking is not that good unless you have features that make it better than this.
I get it.
You know, like the thing about auto attacking that makes it just like, other than the fact that obviously, like, if you only do the same thing ever, it can get kind of boring. But I mean, as an Artificer, you obviously get access to spells and like utility spells and not just like, you know, blinding smite or whatever, right? But Paladins can just like crank their damage with divine smites, and fighters get a lot of attacks. And, you know, even barbarians get like, they get extra damage from rage, and they get, you know, the brutal critical and stuff like that. The problem with these is that they are shoring up an obvious kind of weak point for these classes, but they're not actually providing you with anything really too overly exciting to do with it. And potentially not even that like good compared to just casting a spell, even if your spell list isn't necessarily that good. But this one has a good spell list because it has the spell list of all time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm happy with it in B.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we did it.
Okay,
In
that's
time.
all the artificers.
Yay!
I knew we wouldn't have time for the blood, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That'll have to be a bonus session
I
or
was saying
something.
artificers don't have a lot of subclasses, but my god.
Listen, our eight per session is our normal rate, so I'm glad we succeeded considering Artificer is what it is.
Oh my god, there were so many fucking words.
I don't even think there were that many more words compared to the wizard. I guess the wizards were on
I
the...
think we were just slow at the start because we had to figure out what artificers did.
Honestly, I don't think there were that many words. Yeah, I was worried it would be worse. Hot take, because we spent an hour going over base Artificer. So it means we did 8 subclasses in like 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is pretty good.
That is actually a pretty good pace. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. Well, I guess because we really haven't planned anything, we'll just do Blood Hunters next week as a little bonus episode.
Okay. Final bonus episode.
Little final bonus episode. Send off for the tier lists. You can even consider it non-canonical if you want. You know, obviously everything we say is incredibly canonical and extremely real. And we're the only authorities that you should listen to in terms of Dungeons and Dragons balancing.
Everyone else is wrong.
Everyone else is wrong.
We will address. We can also address our wizard tier list errata if needed on that date.
Yeah, we can errata.
I still
we can errata
think it'll
some
be
shit
good.
We will address that next week.
I think it will still be good. I just don't think it will be break the game.
Does it get its own tier? We will address that in a future episode.
No, we put it in lore hold tier.
It's one below the top one, yeah.
That's true.
So it probably just moves from that to S, honestly.
Oh.
It might. Hard to say.
I'm glad we could help you.
Thank you for helping cope with the local election strategy. Oh my god, I heard about that. Oof.
The local what?
The local election. Triss lives in Italy.
I see.
And they just they sure had an election.
I'm glad we could help with escapism.
They sure did.
We will return, I guess. What the fuck is a blood hunter? Nope, never mind. That's for later.
Don't ask. We will probably spend an hour or two looking at the base class, though.
Yeah, we have to.
Because none of us know what the fuck this is. Because I can't wait.
I've played with artificers, but I've never played with a blood hunter.
So it's actually Triss. The blood hunter is going to be interesting because that class is a Matthew Mercer special.
No way! Oh,
Isn't it modeled after Vin Diesel?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel was the inspiration for it, and he showed them his like custom class, and he made it into a class or something.
That sounds correct.
There's gonna be so many effects that push people by 5 feet. I'm so excited for the 5 foot pushes and pulls.
Do you know? Now we obviously know that Mr. Mercer loves his 5 foot push and pulls. You know what my prediction is? My prediction is gonna be 1d4 extra damage.
Okay.
Just lots of 1d4s.
Yep.
Your pred is 1d4 damage. Mine's 5 foot
that
pushes.
Sounds right. Especially because it's probably blood things. It's a whole bunch of like tickly blood stuff.
Yeah. All right. Looking forward to it.
Man, I will say though, the power of artificers are fairly closely put together. Like there's nothing in F tier.
They all had at least one good feature ish, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The only reason Archivist is here is because it can stun, right?
It does have that late game stunning, yes.
Maybe it did deserve F. Nah, it could do something.
I think
that stun.
I think
really
once it gets to the stun, I think it saves itself from F.
But it's just because it comes at 14th level.
And it wasn't like horrendous.
Yeah, it had some other stuff too. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's a good D
if you
tier.
wanted to listen, there is no better class if you wanted to do spell scroll cheese.
I I guess so. If you wanted to play the bougie Artificer and just like, I have infinite spell slots because I spent money.
You
Then
said
sure.
that some of the low ones probably go up in rank if a campaign where with roleplay stuff is relevant. I think it's always really hard to account for it. We try to account for stuff that has real mechanical benefits for like role-playing niches. Like for instance, like stuff that is just broadly useful, right? Because the problem with niche stuff is that one has to be really good at the niche that it's fulfilling, and then two, like, we have to rate.
Yeah.
We have to predict how often a situation like that would come up, right?
Like
if you had an
something
ability,
has a feature, if something has a feature that says you can communicate with creatures with a burrowing speed that can't speak common, cool. If you're in an underground campaign with nothing but those creatures, that's great. But we're not gonna give that any bearing on the tier list.
yeah, like if you had an ability that was like really powerful, for instance, like if you were like, if it was an ability like, if you ever encounter an outer god, you can assimilate it into your body and destroy it immediately, right? That would be a really strong ability. But it has like zero relevance on most, like 99% of games.
Yeah, on average, it's like a 0 power level.
Right. It's like it's either 100 or 0, and that really it's like a lot of zeros, so it's gonna average out to like near
The
0.
median is 0.
Even languages though are typically like a 0 power level because just creating a class, just creating anyone, you typically get to pick like 3 languages.
Well,
So a class giving what?
But their point is that maybe if you didn't foresee that, then having a class that can change, like speak all languages, for instance, might be really good. Or if it's in a campaign with a lot of diverse languages, that's the niche.
I get it, but like even then,
I
it's like a
know.
0.01 power level. Because like,
Anyway.
oh no, I have to like find a book with the translation. Great, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's it.
And to be honest, it's also like this is like a thing about like D&D specifically, which is that like because D&D does not have like really any structured rules whatsoever for social encounters, other than like you can attempt a blank check here to maybe do something, right? That is the one mechanic that exists in Dungeons and Dragons, outside of combat, realistically speaking, right? So it's like it's hard to gauge stuff that has mechanical impact if there's no mechanics to impact, right? Like any rule that gets introduced in a subclass would become the de facto rule in a kind of a weird way.
It's a struggle for the tier. Listen, welcome to the tier list where where the rules are made up and the ranks don't matter.
We get to decide the rules.
Pretty much.
Much.
Yep. And I mean,
All right.
yeah.
Time.
So that's it then. I guess we'll see you next week. I think, as long as nobody has any pending conflicts.
Depends on whether or not I'm level 80 yet.
Yeah, it depends on World of Warcraft stuff, to be honest. You might be busy.
You think we're kidding? We're not.
You can't spare 2 days or 2 hours?
No.
Bro, this is a once in a year or 2 experience.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've literally stocked up on food and snacks.
I'm gonna clean my room today because
I'm deliberately shafting my sleep schedule.
When does your shit launch?
3 p.m.
Midnight.
3 p.m. our time tomorrow.
Oof.
Wait, so how many hours from now? Less than 24 hours?
23 hours and 34 minutes.
Oh my god, that's hype.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for coming. We'll see you at a point in the future, I guess.
Yeah. Wait, are you sure it's tomorrow? Isn't that Monday for you?
Yes. Isn't it? It's coming out on Monday, right?
Okay, good. I'm not crazy.
Right?
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just like I keep thinking things are Tuesday. I'm like,
Oh, it is Tuesday for you. Yeah, that is confusing.
I keep getting fucking confused. This is the third time I've turned my brain into a circle trying to figure out when it's actually happening.
Release date. I listen. If you're not there on the launch date, like an hour beforehand, I will call you. I will wake you up.
Thank you.
Oh, but you
We
just
gotta
set your
spam.
Yeah.
We gotta spam dungeons. Yeah, my plan
Which
is
guard keep we go?
Okay, I'm closing the stream.